great experience. And yeah, I have been pretty lucky overall with, Twister being an exception. But it set a tone. It set a tone that's been upheld largely, in that you get good people together who really love what they do. You work hard. You have a lot of fun. It can be great, and then it really comes through on screen, I think.
Yeah, it's weird. You treat people with respect and expect greatness from them, and give them that back, and you get a good product.
Interesting.
That sounds really nice.
Crazy. I don't know if we'll internalize that here. Kevin.
Quiet down over there.
You know, the weird thing about, not weird, it's not that weird, I guess, but Adventures in Babysitting, when it came out, it did okay, but it wasn't like a big hit. But really? It has far outlasted so many of the films that came out that same summer.
You can blame Vincent D'Onofrio for that.
Sure.
I really feel like that cameo he had in that.
Yeah.
His Thor was the thing.
Yeah.
I have like 400,000 more questions, but I'll let it go back to the Patreon.
400,000.
That's a lot. Don't worry.
They've paid good money for the privilege of
They did.
asking
to ask you whatever
questions,
they want, and you said you'd answer it all.
That's true.
No, it's fine. Hey, everybody. First off, if you're watching right now and you're here for the live Kind of Funny Gamescast, we ran over on this episode we're recording of We Have Cool Friends, so we thought we'd give you a taste of the new show. This is Anthony. I'm Greg. He's my cool friend. We're into what we call on this show the Friend Zone, where your questions are being asked from Patreon. Friends.
Nailed it.
Michael Weathersby on patreon.com/kind of funny says, hey, Anthony, I'm a newer SAG-AFTRA member in the LA area, actor. Any advice on how to book roles? I'd love to one day be on Discovery, as my family are longtime Star Trek fans.
Well,
Discovery, I was asking you, can you book them?
No, but Discovery is unfortunately out of your zone because it's filming in Toronto.
Sure.
It's not impossible, but it's not that easy because they have to cast a lot of Canadian actors also.
Is that the rule for getting the tax credits?
Yeah.
Gotcha,
we have a lot of us are either American or English, and then there's a lot of the bridge crew actors are all Canadian. So it would be harder to get on Star Trek Discovery, for instance.
Sure.
But
in general, though, for booking roles,
you have an agent. That's one thing, but there's all kinds of websites that have listings, independent films, student films, anything to build your resume and have opportunities to work with people, because you just never know what those could turn into.
Sure.
And even if it's not it doesn't directly open a door, it could open a door 5 years later. So, keep putting yourself into positions where you could, meet people and have opportunities.
Is cheesy and cliche to say there's no small roles, taking any
opportunity, especially in the beginning. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel like even for us, that's the thing where I was down shooting this WWE IGN thing yesterday, right? And some of those people on set, I remember when we worked together 8 years ago, we both were nothings. This is the thing, and now we're here, right? Those little connections you make and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you found that throughout your career, right?
Yeah,
director to director,
definitely, especially in theater. Theater. I just a couple weeks ago, I did a couple readings and workshops, what we were talking about earlier, developmental stuff, and it's people I've known for years and years and years, and they just sort of email and are you available for these days? Sure. So it's and they're not going to necessarily be a big thing in my career,
sure.
but it still is an experience, and you just never know.
Make those connections.
Yeah.
Mark Brinskell writes into patreon.com/kindoffunny and says, for Anthony, what are your thoughts on the impact of Rent on your career, but more importantly, pop culture and theater kids everywhere? Do you get that all the time now? I saw Rent and that's what made me want to go?
I totally get that all the time, yeah. People who enter into the field or it opens their eyes and ears up to other theater stuff that they had sort of maybe written off theater as being not for them. And so it says maybe their theater could also be a home for stories that speak to you.
Yeah.
And then I do think it was on like we talked about earlier, although these people haven't necessarily heard, but
don't worry about those
it was
people.
On the verge. It was the beginning, at the cutting edge of representational storytelling too, and how important it is to talk about the nooks and crannies of the human experience that don't get always in the light of day. It's not just all rich white people all the time.
Just most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah. So we talked about that earlier in the show, the dam breaking, representational, and then also making theater cool again.
Sure, yeah.
Is theater cool right now? Is musical theater cool right now?
I think when it's at its best, sure. Hamilton is about as cool as it gets.
Sure.
And I think Hamilton's incredible. And when I saw it, I was like, people have been saying it feels kind of like Rent in a way, like the kind of impact that it's having is similar. So I feel like I got to experience it I never got to experience that aspect of seeing Rent, you know?
Yeah, of course. You were making it, you were creating it.
So it was very moving to me to be at Hamilton's. Like, if this is at all what it was like to be in the audience for Rent, then I'm like even more proud because I think this is incredible. So when people are comparing them in a favorable way that's really, really meaningful. And Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote Hamilton, has talked to me personally and also on the record about like Rent being such a formative thing for him as an artist, as a human being. So that line connecting them is really cool. So yeah, I think Hamilton's super cool. I think Mean Girls is fun and cool.
Yeah. How often do you go to the theater nowadays?
A lot. Yeah. I try to see pretty much all the big things that come through New York for sure.
Okay.
Dear Evan Hansen's cool.
Final friend zone question comes from one Amy Gilroy. If you were able to act in a serialized TV/streaming version of a video game like Netflix making The Witcher, which game would it be and which role would you play?
It's weird because I'm in Star Trek Discovery.
Sure.
So it's kind of similar-ish, I guess.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
Who do you want to play in Mass Effect?
Oh, probably Morden.
Yeah, I can see that.
But that's like, again, then I'm the scientist. I mean... But
you're right. You're just ripping that character off on Discovery. All your choices you hack.
You know, I mean, yeah. Who else would it be? Yeah, not that I would. I think it'd be cool to play Legion, too.
Oh, that'd be a really good one.
Something like
really
that.
Good one.
That storyline just killed me.
Yeah.
Like
that's what Mass Effect does best.
Oh my God.
Plays with your emotions and kills you.
Has there been anything since? No. I mean, Last of Us killed me.
Sure.
But it's a much different kind of experience.
Sure. Oh yeah.
It's so like funneled, wonderfully funneled. Mass Effect, there's so much like
threads and decision making and choices you make, right?
And the scope of the relationships and the worlds,
Who'd you romance?
I did it a couple different ways. Yeah.
Okay.
So Talia.
Sure.
And then I can't remember the names of characters. I'm sorry.
That's fine. The Krogan.
No. The guy who works who lost his husband or lost his partner, or he's like working in the
just a human.
Yeah, he's a human. He doesn't have a big part. He's
I was gonna say
he's like down in the weapons,
the engine room or whatever.
Yeah, the weapons.
Yeah, I don't know.
Place.
I did Garrus, so I don't know. I did romance Garrus.
Weird.
Why can't I just have
Garrus
some fun?
is awesome.
Garrus is a great dude.
Awesome.
He deserves some love. And then Mort gave us weird
but
conversation books.
That's not a good part for me. But I think he's a great character, of course.
Sure. Yeah.
That scene when they're shooting the things on the skywalk.
Yeah.
It was such a good scene.
Now, when you were on Games Daily before, we put out the call for you to get developers to hire you. Have you been hired yet?
Yeah. I haven't been officially hired.
If somebody hit you up?
I had a really good conversation with Mike Bithell.
There we go, guys. We're doing it. We're making it happen.
He's, there's nothing in the current project he's working on.
Sure.
But he's like,
hey, that's a connection that we're talking
about. I've been talking to the Star Trek Online guys, so I think
Nice.
that might turn into something.
Yeah, they're putting Tilly in there. They got to put you in there. Come on.
And then I'm hearing rumors about possibilities of other Star Trek games.
Okay.
I don't know if they're going to happen or not.
Sure.
There have been like attempts at other Star Trek games over the years.
Sure.
There was one that came out when the 09 movie, or like sometime after that, and I didn't play it. Apparently, it wasn't very good.
Yeah, I don't even remember it popping up, but yeah,
So-
that makes sense. They would have done some weird tie-in for that.
So, yeah.
Okay. Final question for you. I already said Amy's would be. This is a simple one. This is Casey. What's your favorite boss in Bloodborne?
Lady Maria
Okay.
of the Astral Clock Tower.
Why?
It's a perfect duel. She's really hard, but she's like totally. If you just have to be really. If you're, it's like the whole thing with those games. If you're careful and patient,
Yeah.
and you don't overplay your hand, you can absolutely beat her. But she's really badass. And it's tough, but it's like fair. It's totally fair. It's a totally fair fight.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
All right.
What about you?
Oh, I don't play Bloodborne. Come on. You think I'm good enough for that? I don't have the patience for Bloodborne.
Really?
Yeah. I know I'm a monster. I thought it was the one that was most appealing to me because the Dark Souls never, Demon Souls and Dark Souls were too slow paced. At preview events, I would play Bloodborne and be like, oh, it's faster paced. I like it a little bit. And then it dropped and it was the normal thing of like, this is a weird presentation. What am I doing? What's happening? I'm going to go get an easy trophy
Greg.
by.
Greg.
If you want to hear Anthony talk more about video games, he's about to record the Kind of Funny Games cast for us. If you're not watching live, that means then it would be, it's a couple games casts ago. You'll need to go back for it. He was on Games Daily as well. Anthony, where can people
It's
keep up with you?
timey-wimey. That's timey-wimey.
Yeah, I know. It's how the shows are, but
Yeah.
they get it.
I understand.
Where can
What's-
people keep up with you? Where do you want to direct people?
At Albino Kid on Twitter and at Albino Kid 1026, which is my birthday, on Instagram.
Okay.
Those are the best.
Okay, great.
ways. Yeah.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a cool friend.
Thank
I
you for
enjoy
being
talking.
my
I could
cool
talk to
friend.
you forever.
That's awesome.
And we're about to talk more. So I mean,
Yeah,
that's how it
we're
works.
about to talk more.
But now we're just going to talk about video games.
Timey-wimey.
Go to youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and you can look way back in the thing and find it there and do that stuff. You can also go to patreon.com/kindoffunny. Support We Have Cool Friends if you think this is it. That's We Have Cool Friends. I haven't really perfected an outro yet, but it's this show. We have cool friends. Stay cool.
Cool friends.
Stay cool.
Smiley face with a.
Greg, give me one last clap.
You got it.
All right, excellent. I'm gonna cut on.
Sure. All right. Hey, so then people who are watching live for Gamescast, I assume we're just gonna kill the mics. Kevin's gonna flip the set.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're gonna see, but we'll be right back with that show.
I'll leave it up so they can see. Maybe I'll take the lights down.
Okay.
I don't know.
But they can watch this. They're watching this right now.
Right. So these people.
Hi, Chatsicle. It's me, Joey, and I'm here all by myself for this week's Kind of Funny Games Cast pre-show. Oh, look who decided to show up. Ooh, look at you rocking that Spawn on Me shirt.
Yeah, the Apex Legends one.
It looks so cool.
It's very cool. Very cool.
What if you just spun on that chair for the entirety of the pre-show?
Okay.
I'll do it.
Do it. Make Andy puke. Make Andy puke. Helen? Spinning really fast, Kevin. How fast do you think you can spin Andy?
I'm ready
You go a little
again.
faster.
I'm ready getting dizzy, guys.
How
Oh
fast?
my god. Oh my god.
What a great idea.
I thought I was gonna knock over the soda. Thought the sody pop was gonna fall.
See, if we did that more often, then I wouldn't complain so much about not having wheels on the chairs. Because at least we're putting the non-wheeled chairs to a good use, you know?
I almost fell into the.
Did you
LED
feel like you were
screen.
going to throw up at all?
No, but I did start feeling like, oh, this isn't a good idea.
This is a bad idea. What was I going to say? Sorry we're late. Greg was interviewing Anthony Rapp for the second ever episode of We Have Cool Friends.
Nick is just geeking out right now.
He is like so geeking out.
Nick is geeking out.
He sat, so normally when we do like pretty much any content, I feel like we don't usually always, if you're not in it, you don't normally watch it like in the studio.
Oh, no.
Like I feel like you and I and Barrett and like Greg and Tim
Barrett's
too, I
already
guess.
cooled off on that. Like,
Yeah.
And I remember when I first started here, like I wanted to be in the studio all the time just because
Yeah.
you're so excited,
fun.
and then you get jaded. And you're like, this has gotten old. You
Yeah.
know?
And like on occasion,
Okay.
I feel like we will. Like even last week, I pretty much sat on the shock mic for all of the Kind of Funny podcast because I wanted to talk about New York and WrestleMania. And even in the back, like Greg and Tim and like all of us will have the stream up just kind of in the background. But Nick was sitting in here the whole time, like enamored.
Nick's
and all
going
that kind of
Hollywood
stuff.
on us. I don't like it.
Getting a
He's
little
gonna
too big
leave
for
us.
his britches.
He's gonna leave us.
Don't say
He's gonna
that.
leave us.
He'll
for-
never leave.
He
This
is number
his
one on
business.
the Funhouse list of people they would hire. So
What was up with that list, man? By the way,
I don't
what was
know.
up with that
Do you think
list?
they don't know that I work here? I kind of felt
They
like
said your name.
Did they?
No.
Yeah.
No, they definitely didn't.
They said Portillo.
Yeah, they said the dog.
No, they said Kevin.
They
No.
did
They
not.
didn't say Barrett.
They didn't
No,
say Kevin
yeah.
or Barrett.
But
Oh,
like,
really?
I assumed Barrett was the intern they were referring to.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you were number 8 below me, Kev.
it's definitely possible.
Thank you, Andrew Feistner. Appreciate that.
Thanks, dude.
Who will be on Gamescast, Andrea or Fran?
Look who it is.
Oh, the timing on that one.
That's a great question. What a segue.
What a segue. The Franimal been here
Oh, yeah.
all day
Is this your
today.
Fran?
I guess not
Yeah.
really all day,
not
but
mine.
No,
Top you off.
it has been all day. I mean, I just got lunch.
oh, is that where you went?
Yeah,
I did see you
yeah, 'cause
disappear
Greg
at some
normally
point.
I got
sits
breakfast.
You go in and
At noon.
You take my
At
seat
noon.
and then you take.
Yeah.
We're doing the shuffle.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Everybody,
Oh, is this,
An-
this is
we
happening?
Fran,
This is live?
Anthony
wait.
Rapp, everybody.
I wonder if they want you to hear.
Pre-show for
No, I think there's
Patreons?
fine. Yes,
Sure.
Patreons.
exactly.
Kento?
See, DJ Kento. They 100% didn't say Kevin.
Kind of Funny
It's because-
Gamescast.
Woo! You guys excited to talk about everything today?
Yeah.
I'm really, if you're going to talk about current things, I'm not current. That's all I got to say.
We're
It's
just
hard to
chilling
keep up.
today.
Okay, what?
It's hard to keep up.
No,
There's
but
too
it's,
many
yeah, it's
games.
especially hard for me
Thanks, Andrew.
lately. But yeah.
You're busy.
You guys,
I
but you have a
understand it.
business in which you
Happy
have to
birthday,
keep up.
Tina.
Yeah.
You are
Did you already
obligated
introduce
to keep
him
up.
to the pre-show?
Well, I talked
They
about
already
him
know, I bet.
before
Yeah.
you guys got in here.
He's a man who needs no introduction.
It's true.
Anthony
it's true.
Rapp,
Sort of true.
Star Trek
And here
Discovery,
comes-
Star Trek Discovery.
which is on my list.
Thank you.
I have not seen it yet.
Thank you. 69 platinums is my
I knew that. Yeah.
69 platinums.
What it's
Come on.
all about.
And some of them are half-ass platinums, but a lot of them are good ones.
That's
Have you done
what
super,
Greg's-
have you done super weekend mode yet?
Super weekend mode.
Super weekend mode.
That's a
5
game.
minutes.
That
5
should
minute
be
platinum.
No, I don't wanna do that.
Come on, give me your Vita right now. I'll do it for you.
You can do it during the pre-show. It's
Totally.
like that fast.
Okay. Are we gonna be good for?
Fran,
Yes.
I want you to know you got a shout out yesterday. I was
Oh.
at this WWE esports.
Yeah, you were
IGN
working
thing.
for IGN.
Yeah, as I do.
yesterday.
As I
That's
do.
where I used
Trying to
work
get back.
there, yeah.
Trying
Yes.
to get back.
With Greg.
Yes.
One Alex Golden Boy Mendez
Oh yeah.
complimenting me to compliment you on your streaming. He pops into the
What?
FM3 underscores.
Golden
yeah.
Boy
Yeah, yeah.
drops by. You never know who's watching sometimes.
Exactly. Andy.
He's the best.
He
I
is
love
the
that
best.
guy. Yeah, I've had the pleasure to like work with him a few times at IGN, and man, he was already big, but he's
Sure.
blown up
Oh yeah.
on
Well,
us.
that's the thing. It's like
you guys
we
work
forget
together?
that we worked together with him at IGN.
Yeah.
What am I looking at?
Yeah,
What am I
you've
looking
been
at?
on a lot of stuff that we did with him. So
I wanted to give you a shout out to a Golden Boy. He was telling me yesterday how much he appreciated you rating him the other
Golden
night,
Boy
and
his-
he pops
his
into your
handle?
stream. He watches.
Yeah, so on Twitch he's Golden Boy FTW, unless he changed it, but Golden
No,
Boy
it's still his,
FTW.
yeah, it's his handle.
Do
He's
you know
a
what?
shoutcaster.
Alex
Do you know what
Mendez.
Golden Boy's from?
No.
Like, where do you got it from?
I mean, I
It's
know-
from this 6-episode anime that came out
I asked
like
him, I forgot. Yeah.
back in the I want to say like early 90s, and it's just about this like perverted teenager just going around dealing with everyday life.
That's every anime.
That's like-
That's every anime.
No, it's not though.
anime.
It's like it's something special. I highly recommend it.
They also become
everyone.
like monsters and demons.
Sometimes,
and,
Yeah.
But they're usually
Tentacle
perverted.
monsters.
Yeah, this one's
Yeah.
just
Something like that.
Tears well up.
He's great.
Yeah, the
yeah.
giant. It gets spicy.
At one point, I was really confused with.
Is this mic up, Kev?
At one point, I was really confused with anime where I thought all anime was just monsters and robots and stuff like that until I first saw like slice of life anime, and I was like, "Where's the fucking
Where's
robots?
robots,
Where's
man?
the robot?
Where's the mix
Yeah.
at?"
Then
Where's
you
the
get-
fights at?
Then you get Persona 4, which is a little bit of both,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. You're studying your homework, and then you're going to kill monsters.
Yeah, why not? Yeah,
You're
we got
going
to. I have
the
to actually
TV.
pay attention for the test questions, and then
Going
yeah,
to
go
the
out there.
TV.
What was the show that The Rock and
Titan Games.
Titan Games.
Titan
he
Games, yeah.
shoutcast that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or whatever.
Shoutcast?
He was
Yeah.
one of the MCs. Sorry.
Shoutcast.
What would you call that?
I don't know what that means.
A shoutcaster is the guy who, when people are
Play-by-play.
playing competitive esports, doing the play-by-play of it. Like, all right, the Russian
Why do they
mid
call
right
him a
here.
shoutcaster?
It's
Why
a
are they
weird
sh-
thing.
are they
It's
shouting?
commentating.
You know what? It became more.
Yeah, but I don't know why they
they
call
are
it shouting.
shouting. To be fair, it's literally just like in
That's
baseball,
what-
right? It's the play-by-play.
They're
That's all.
not shouting in the baseball
What do
booth,
they
are
call the play-by-play in baseball?
Play-by-play.
Play-by-play.
Play-by-play announcer.
But the
Yeah.
You're the
You're
announcers.
just the announcers.
Yeah.
I don't know why they call
And
it.
in the
shouting.
NFL, they have
Shit
like
everywhere.
they have the analyst, then they have like the color guy.
Yeah,
who
color
just, like, sprinkles
commentary.
in,
The
you know.
goose.
Good thing you said color and not colored.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right?
not that.
Well, Tony Romo's like half
a long
Mexican,
time
so he's
ago.
one of the best.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I understand.
Antonio
I
Romo.
understand.
Habit Maker says 1 week for Avengers. Yeah.
Can you believe
Oh
it?
my
1 week
God.
from today.
Wow.
Is that a mobile game?
The Avengers?
No, Best Friends. Oh, I thought there was a game called Avengers Best Friends. That was going to be like a mobile game or something. The movie Infinity War.
Yeah,
There
Infinity War.
probably
Yeah,
is.
okay.
To be fair.
All right.
You know what that more importantly means, Fran?
What?
1 week from today, Division 2 raid.
No. Bad news.
What?
Good news for you. Delayed. You missed it.
I did. What, in the state of the
Totally
game
delayed.
yesterday?
Yeah. So
What
yesterday.
happened? Oh my God,
They
it's
literally
breaking
were
news. I
like,
gotta
it's-
listen to Games Daily.
Yeah. They're like, it's not ready. There's balancing stuff that's changing in the whole world, and they're like not sure how it's going to affect the raid, so they're taking more time.
Awesome.
That's my
'Cause
paraphrase.
I got to go to Chicago for my birthday next week.
happy
yeah.
birthday.
You know what I mean? So I
Chicago.
was gonna miss the raid. Not no more.
Are you guys doing all the muting?
So you'd
on
be good
Twitter?
now, Greg. Yeah, I hope we can play now. That's one of the big upsides. Like
Does he
mid-May.
have skills?
Totally.
Does he have skills?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we got
in
skills.
division.
Yeah.
Division for sure. The
Thank you for
rest-
specifying.
I don't know. He's over here talking Super Weekend, just pressing a button while he's like checking
All right.
his email
First
or
off,
something.
you couldn't. If I bring Super Weekend in here right now,
I couldn't
you
platinum-
couldn't platinum in
Oh,
5
okay.
minutes. No way. Let me tell you. You think it's easy to slide the thing over and hit the dust bunnies? It ain't. It ain't, Anthony.
Oh, man, I was
very
thinking
afraid.
it was.
I'm
Yeah,
super
you're all
afraid.
cowards. It's
Wow.
not easy. You can't do
I'm
it. All
gonna have
right.
to do it when I get home. Now.
Wow.
It'll take me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You're like,
Get
wow.
out of here. Yeah.
Have you guys been doing all the muting on Twitter to avoid spoilers?
Yeah.
So I always feel super cautious for people that are broadcasting that they're muting, because I worry that is challenging trolls.
Yes, I hate seeing it.
It's very much the reason Tim and I had a conversation where we were like, let's never talk about this publicly.
Yeah. Well, it's pre-show.
Yeah,
Sure.
I chose the pre-show.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mark Freeman's like,
Patrons.
Yeah.
Patrons?
Yep.
Patreon. Hello, patrons.
Yeah, I'm still. I gotta watch Infinity War. Tim just.
Is that it? That's the
Yeah.
last one you're down to?
Well, I'm gonna have to watch Wasp and Captain Marvel.
Sure,
too, so.
sure,
Oh,
sure.
Endgame is the name of the new one.
Yes,
Yeah.
Endgame.
I'm behind.
Do you not care for the Marvel movies?
They're okay. They're fun, but
Yeah.
I'm just behind, and then I feel like I have to. I know there's a whole long arc that threads through everything.
That's
and
what
so I'm
Fran,
like,
Fran had seen the one.
what
None of
do-
them, or
No, I was
where
basically
do
through the first Avengers, and then I just dropped off.
Yeah.
And I felt like, I'll catch up later. But then here comes Endgame, and the shame from these guys. And I'm like, all right.
And here you are.
I'm ready.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm ready,
I'm so
yeah.
happy you did it. Because I was
So you went through
worried.
all? You got through
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah.
Every
He has-
single
he has
one?
3
Yeah.
left.
Wow.
My big thing is I can't watch a movie unless I'm like in the zone every
me too,
frame
me
because
too,
I'm
me
like a
too.
video producer guy. So like I won't even watch stuff when it's light outside. I just can't do it. But I finally broke down and like I'm eating dinner in front of my TV, watching Avengers movies and stuff. But now I'm caught up.
good. I'm
That
glad
was
it broke
straight
you.
up.
I'm glad it broke you.
Yeah.
Fran's very particular about a
No.
lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he gave me the 4K UHD, and I feel like it's all gonna come back that I'm gonna get like obsessed with how I watch these movies.
Controversial. I don't like watching things in 4K.
Really?
I don't like it. It's
too.
it's too. Yeah, it's too
Uncanny
too real.
Valley.
Yeah, it's like the lighting. You don't feel like the grain and the shadow.
It's not dreamy anymore.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Interesting.
I don't like it. I've tried it a couple times and I'm like I can't. So I was at my friend's house a couple weeks ago and we were watching Discovery together, Star Trek Discovery, and it was 4K, and I was like I was upset.
Please stop this. This
I
is
want
not
it as sharp as possible. If I'm not at risk of getting cut from how nice that looks,
Sure.
I don't want no part in it.
Yeah, and I think that there might be cinematographers who agree with me. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you know what's interesting?
There might be.
I think it's there's a lot of the people who like just shot on film because they wouldn't even move
Yeah,
to digital,
exactly.
let alone the resolution.
But now the digital's caught up in terms of being able to get that kind of
look.
gradation and grain and feel. Like, yeah, now no problem. But
I think part of it that I notice is it's how you grew up watching stuff too. It's that in your mind you have a dreaminess when you sit down and watch a film and whatever, you call it a film. And now when you watch stuff, if you didn't grow up on Netflix, like a lot of people now, it's like it does seem weird. It's like a little too digital, like you're saying. It's like listening to records versus digital stuff. I mean, it does make a difference.
putting that motion blur on, right? And that kind of crap. No way.
Yeah, no one wants that.
Thank God Tom Cruise is fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
This video.
is he?
He put out him and somebody
I don't
else.
remember this.
Who? Nick's not even in the room anymore. Kevin, you remember this? Who was it? It was him and somebody else. They were on. It was Mission Impossible people.
Yeah, I think it was the director. I think it was the director of Mission
And they were like,
Impossible,
"Hey, this is it." They put out this video. It was just like, "Hey, a lot of you don't know, but your TV has a thing called motion blur on, and they're like, people hide it in the settings under different names. It could be this, that, that. This is not the way we want you to watch our films or our movies. Please take it off. Figure out how to take it off.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the worst when you go to your parents' house. Like, what is? Oh, you guys, come on, get in there.
Most TV settings these days ruin, in my opinion. They're like set for sports, predominantly. That like fast motion crap, and it looks terrible.
For years, I'd come home to, I guess whatever. I'd come home a bunch of times to visit my mom, and she'd still have like this sticker on the side, like with all the things. And finally, I was like, I was hoping you'd wake up and take it off. I gotta take this off. Nobody cares about the features of this TV.
1080.
Yeah, why is it on here? What are you doing?
God, the true HD though, or full HD, that ugly ass
funny.
gold thing. Ignacio Rojas says, so the IMAX version of Infinity War never came out. Me and Fran were just talking about it, man. It's such bullshit. The reason is that IMAX has the license to the IMAX
Pay them.
brand or whatever. But no, the problem is IMAX is launching their own streaming service. So they want that stuff exclusive to them. And it's like, well, come on.
Does that add up in Hollywood to you, Anthony?
Oh no, I'm sorry. They're streaming IMAX.
Well, no, in other words,
Full frame. So like when it's not 16:9, when you watch an IMAX movie and then it's like it looks more like a square than a rectangle. Yeah, for like certain scenes.
Yeah.
Certain movies like Infinity War, the entire movie is shot in full frame.
Right.
And if you had the Blu-ray at home, you'd be able to watch it that way.
right. But it's not
They
the
own
whole
that.
frame, but they fill, so you know how it's normally anamorphic. And
Yeah.
so with IMAX film, it's higher resolution, so they fill your whole TV.
Right.
So it's super crisp, but your whole TV fills because it's the original source. Does that make sense?
Okay, I don't
But
care.
it doesn't
Like,
make, you're
No,
like,
I
I
mean,
don't
like
care with
missing
it.
out on pixels,
My
man.
man over here.
Oh, it makes such a difference. It really does.
Why? What do you mean?
Like, for example, when I watch Batman, even in 1080, and it's all shot on film, too. I
Yeah.
mean, you'd appreciate that. It goes to, like, those big IMAX scenes, right? Chicago, where you were born, right? Coming in, and all of a sudden, so it goes from that letterbox to, like, boom, fills the full screen.
That would be jarring to me if it's going from
Really?
one. Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, y'all gotta
I would
get over
prefer the
this.
whole film,
If it isn't
obviously,
on the
but-
back of a Virgin America plane seat, I'm not
so
happy.
much. Kevin, what's the
Oh
stopwatch at?
dear. That's where
Ignacio,
we draw
I
the
can't
line.
see frame rates. How dare you?
And did you wanted to say something to me earlier? You're like, Tim.
Tim, I want to say something to you right now.
What do you wanna say?
I have breaking news for you. Joey Noel would like to come in and talk about a game when we're talking about games.
Okay. Do you know what it is?
It's my time at Porsche.
Oh,
Portia.
cool.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to
Put
pronounce
that.
it.
Porty.
Porty. My time with Porty.
Yeah, my time with Porty.
It's a game you're gonna find out about soon. My dog's named Portillo, so we call him Porty. But then there's this game now that's Portia or something. I don't know. Joey's gonna come in. She'll yak.
Fun. All right. Let's get this thing going. You feeling good, Kev? I'm feeling good. You guys feeling good?
I'm feeling great.
He goes right into the
I'm
intro.
feeling
Fantastic.
pretty well.
All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever episode 218 of the Kind of Funny Games Cast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one of the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller.
Doki doki.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Flying all around, doing a whole bunch of things.
Up at 4:30 this morning in LA, Los Angeles, in the cab out here. Here I am.
Wow.
Cab?
Let's go. Well, it was an Uber, but I just generalized. You know.
And then joining me once again, the freshest face in the business right now, Fran Mirabel.
I shaved today.
You're
I had a
looking
full
good.
beard yesterday.
That's why you're the
And
freshest
today-
face?
Yeah, I
that's
guess
why. I
so.
was like,
I love it.
I normally
I'm liking it
shaved.
a lot. You can find him on twitch.tv/FM3_, which
Working on
Are
those.
you the third? Are you a third?
I am the third, yeah. Francis Mirabella the third.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I love him so much. And joining us on this show for the very first time, Anthony Rapp. You might know him from Star Trek Discovery, Rent, Adventures in Babysitting, and Road Trip.
Twister.
Those
Yeah.
are
Some of
classics.
them.
All of them, man.
No,
There
he
you
doesn't
go.
want to talk about it. I love
Oh,
Twister.
we
man.
just so
I
Anthony,
know, yeah. You the last episode.
The live people, they got to see the end of Anthony's episode as we were recording. We have cool friends. It'll be out after Game of Thrones is done. But yeah, we get into the Twister thing. He's like,
What is this Game of Thrones?
Well, it's his other show. It's successful. I know you don't watch TV. You know what I mean? But it's something. It'll be a musical one day, and you'll care.
Yeah, Twister the music.
I'm
What about
Jon Snow, and I know nothing.
Jon Snow. Jon Snow.
Snit.
Sorry, yes. You were saying? What?
That's it. We
Yes?
were given the preamble. Of course, you know Anthony from Kind of Funny Games Daily, co-host there. Big,
Yeah,
big
that was
video game
awesome.
guy. Big video game guy.
Yeah, and we have cool friends coming soon, which is very exciting stuff. Sorry, Fran. You can watch this show each and every week right here on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. If you want to get the show early, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and get the show ad-free as well. That's super cool. You can get it on podcast services. Just search for Kind of Funny Gamescast. You can watch it on Rooster Teeth. We give you a lot of options here.
Wherever you are, it's going to be there. That's what we
gonna
like
be
to
there.
say. You know what I mean?
That's
you want to take a
our
shower?
catchphrase.
It'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah, just search for Kind of Funny
upset now.
Gamescast in your, in
your
your local
dreams.
shower.
Yeah, in your we're in your shower with you.
I had a dream, and I'm not going to go into too
God.
many details
Oh,
here.
Here we
no,
go.
here we
But this
go.
is a dream I had today. When I went home and napped, so I cheated a bit. Up at 4:30, but I took a nap before I came in to do some stuff. And one of the dreams I had, because it was just a 2-hour nap, but I kept getting
It
jostled
can be
out.
vivid dreams when you nap.
It was very vivid, and I won't tell you the preamble of how we got here, but basically me and my family were running upstairs from some lines that were opening a sliding glass door downstairs. And when I walked past the guest room, there was this ghost in there that I knew, and I was like, I don't have time for you right now because the ghost ran at me. I pushed out the window somehow, and then it came
Was it
through
like
the window.
a Casper, like white
It was-
sheet
it was-
ghost?
it
or
looked
was
more like the
a-
Annabelle doll. That's what you're thinking, but it was a
Annabelle
ghost. It was
doll.
like from Annabelle from the Conjuring universe. Come on.
Oh, okay.
All right. Anyways, pushed out the window. It came through. I shut the door. Put a knife through the wall, and then opened the door. And I'm like, I really don't have time for this. There's lines, and it handed me. I shit you
Usually
not,
this ghost.
a cease and desist or some kind of legal document. It handed me that was signed by Michael Bublé and Gia Harris, and I was like,
What?
they don't have legal. I gotta go, ghost.
Why
My
are those
girlfriend
guys?
and Michael Bublé. Also, who qualifies as your family? You and your family
This
are
is
running.
this is my old house, so it was
Okay.
my mom and my dad, and I think
Gotcha.
there was another person. Yeah,
Because I love the idea of
Back
you,
home.
Jen, and
Glen
Porty
Ellen.
just like
Yeah.
running from these lions.
exactly. Yeah.
Horrifying
Lions?
stuff.
Yeah, lions. Yeah, they were walking through the yard. Mom was like, "Oh, it happens," and then they started pawing at the door, and they were opening the sliding
It
glass
happens.
door.
Yeah, it was lions. They're
I was
just chilling.
like, "Mom, that does not happen in the
You
suburbs of
sound a little
Chicago."
stressed out in your dreams, if I'm being honest.
I know, right?
You handled them well,
You
but-
try to unpack it. It's there this threat walking by, then opening the door, and me trying to hold it closed.
Michael
you
Bublé.
summate that you've got hungry lions outside that are coming to eat you.
yeah.
There's a murderous ghost you live with, and someone, a famous musician and his fiancée are coming to offer you a cease and desist. That is not a good lineup.
Hey, man.
Oh man!
Who are we to say?
Shout out to our Patreon producers, DJ Kento, James Davis, and James Hastings for allowing this to happen. I guess I don't even know.
And the murderous
But let's
ghost.
talk about some video games. Greg,
Yeah.
Days Gone.
Yeah. It's all I've been playing, and that's all I can say. We are embargoed with our Days
Embargo.
Gone review until 1 week from today as a recording. So the next Kind of Funny Games cast, gloves are off. I can
Great.
talk about Days Gone.
Yes,
but
me
sadly,
too.
it's done that thing where it's all I've played. You know what I mean? So I can't say anything. I went back to Katana Zero a bit because I want to beat it still.
We'll
'cause-
talk about that.
Yeah. So it's just, that's what I've been doing.
The one
Mums is
thing
the word.
I've been playing besides Days Gone, Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, did
one's
you try
surprised.
Joker?
DLC
Oh.
Pack 1. Oh, did I try Joker?
My
I already,
apologies, my
I already got all the spirits,
Joker?
Greg.
Like Batman
From
Joker?
Persona,
No, Persona 5
Persona
Joker.
5.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't get to play Persona yet either. I have a lot on my list too. Don't worry.
I have a
If you
lot on
haven't
my
played
list.
it.
I have a lot
All
on
you do is sit at home with stream games. Like, how can you not have played
Because
it?
I'm
you know?
playing Division, Greg.
That's my man.
That's it.
my
You
man.
knew it was
Good
coming.
excuse.
Oh,
Good excuse there.
God. But yeah,
You're
I
not
already
gonna fight me on
got,
that.
there was 11 new spirits added. I already got them all.
Okay, good.
Spirits?
So
Spirits? That's a thing in
Super
Smash
Smash
Bros?
Brothers.
How many were
the
there?
collectibles. Let me. here's
Tim
the-
has all of them.
Yes.
How many are there, Tim?
There's now 1,316.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, don't give me shit, Mr.
No, I'm not giving you shit.
Mr. Platinum Trophy.
No,
How many
not
platinum
shit.
trophies do you have?
Like so many. I have 69.
69, which
platinum
is
trophies.
beautiful. Don't ever get another one. But yeah, no, I'm not a big trophy guy, but I am a big Nintendo guy. I'm specifically a big Smash Brothers guy.
Yeah.
So they have a essentially trophy system,
sure,
and I'm
yeah.
like, I got to platinum it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Was it worth it? No.
It
What
wasn't worth
cost?
it?
Everything. Oh yeah, no, not worth it at all.
Why wasn't it
so
worth
much
it?
grinding, so much bullshit, so
Oh.
much. Yeah, but with the new DLC packs, they're just going to keep adding more bullshit for me to do.
Sure, of course.
But it's good to know that it doesn't take too long to do it all. And you know, jokes aside, it's like it actually is pretty cool stuff. They made some improvements to how the spirit board works with the DLC stuff. Where before it'd be randomized and it was kind of a waste of time of just waiting for the ones you're
Is it
looking
a
for.
weekly reset or?
No, it's
Okay,
there's like
Fran, come on, it's Nintendo.
No, I know.
old
there's like a
RNG.
timer. There's a timer on it, like with minutes.
Oh, it was like all the time.
Yeah. There's a board, and at any moment, there's 10 different spirits that would be there. You face them, and if you win, then there was this stupid mini game you had to play that was garbage. And if you lost
sounds
that,
A ringing endorsement of your 1300 or whatever.
you didn't get it, whatever. But that's the thing. The new DLC ones get a separate board and
Okay.
get rid of the garbage.
Okay.
So if you beat them, you get it.
Oh, okay.
And it's only the 13. You're not waiting for them to respawn and do all this bullshit. You just need to do the challenge.
Go and get
Each of the challenges is based off of whatever character the spirit's based off of. Now they're all Persona characters. I'm not really familiar with any
How
of these
did they
things,
get the
but
Persona characters?
they got Joker, baby, DLC.
No, but how did they like?
Atlas, they asked nicely.
Have they ever been on Nintendo?
Oh, that's a great question. Has Persona 5 is Barrett here? Oh, interesting. Yeah,
That's
no,
interesting.
no.
I'm just
There's an ongoing argument because this has happened. What does it mean exactly? Is Persona 5 in some way or form going to come to Switch? Is it going to be the dancing games? Is it going to be a repackage? They put up a site that looked like it was going to be it, and then it wasn't. Now there's a different Persona 5S. There's still rumors and speculation, but yeah, it is basically that. Although, as Tim always points out, when we start getting crazy, that yes, people have shown up in Smash Brothers that have not been on Nintendo consoles.
Plenty of people.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
just do that now.
Cloud.
Like Pac-Man was it? I mean,
Well,
that's.
Batman's been on Nintendo before.
Oh, that's
and
it.
Cloud
I
was,
thinking
Cloud
people
was
that
the
have
very
never been.
PlayStation version of Cloud, right? Wasn't that the deal?
Yeah, I mean, even without that, Final Fantasy VII
That's
just came to
interesting.
Nintendo
I did
for
not
the first
see.
time.
I did not know.
Yeah,
That's a
so
joke, but
Joker, the first DLC character, second DLC character in Smash Ultimate with the Piranha Plant being the first. But this is the first of the like character DLC that they're pitching with the packs, where you can get the season pass or 5 different packs give you a character, like 11 different songs, I think, like music tracks from the Persona series, and songs from 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
And some of them are new arrangements and like
That's
typical
wild.
Smash Brothers stuff. All the spirits, of course, the new character, the stage Memento is
Yeah,
the name
Yeah,
of
we're
it.
done
stage
with
is
this,
cool. It's like a Persona stage.
And what's
And
cool
new victory
about it,
screens that are the victory screens from Persona 5. Yeah.
what's cool about it is when you play that stage, depending on what song is playing, if it's a Persona 3, 4, or 5, it's the stage changes to look more like those games, like
Yeah.
color-wise at
Yeah,
least.
yeah.
Yellow, red, and blue.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna say blue.
So that stuff's cool. But again, this is just a testament to how much Sakurai cares about Smash Brothers, about getting the little details right, where Joker's winning animation is different than the other Smash characters.
And I saw on maybe the Persona subreddit today or somewhere that if you hold a button combination, you actually get the Morgana vein
hold
coming
left,
out.
up, or down, like when you
If you win.
it changes the victory animation, which works for all characters. And I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's been
Yeah.
in there
Oh,
since
wow.
Melee.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
Fake
didn't know
fan.
that.
Tim's a fake fan.
D-pad up.
This is the first thing I like. Fran knew and I didn't about Smash. It's insane.
It's actually it's funny that it is that subtle, and I never thought twice that people wouldn't know. But you're right; they don't really point that stuff out.
So that's really cool.
Did you play as Joker? Does he play cool?
Yeah,
Is he a good
I
character?
played a classic mode with him. He's cool. I still don't really understand his gimmicky thing. With a lot of the newer characters in Smash, specifically the DLC characters they've been adding, like the third-party characters is what I meant to say, with like Cloud and stuff like that
Yeah.
from the Wii U version. They each kind of have like gimmicky things as their character, so it's not just like Smash where everyone has the same things. They'll have like meters. Like Little Mac has the meter at the bottom for his, like the KO punch, or Cloud has his limit break thing from Final Fantasy. Joker has something.
Yeah.
You guys probably would know what it is. Get in here, Joe.
Joey came in. I'm like, she heard Persona on the wind and needed to get in here to
That's
explain
exactly
it.
what I came in
Hey,
here
is our
for.
mic up, Kev? Yep. Cool.
It has one of the personas. I think it's Arcana.
Yes.
Yeah.
That he powers up, and then he has like a whole different move set essentially when that's there.
It's
right?
not so much a whole different moveset. It's more just like very powered up
Overpowered,
versions of his moves. But yeah, I still haven't wrapped my head around like the gimmick of it yet.
Yeah,
Because
like how to charge that meter or like what goes into that. I played around with it a little bit last night.
he has down B's a counter, and it does charge the meter faster than your little Arceus or whatever the hell his name is. Arcana pops out behind you and like powers everything up. But some of his moves seem weird. Like his up B is a grapple, and he like throws a tether out, and it seems really hard to hit people with.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah, you can pull them down towards you. Usually those grapples is like I think Toon Link or whatever was one of the first.
Zero Suit Sam has had this,
But you can
It's
latch
way
onto
harder
edges,
than
which
hers,
is cool.
though.
Toon Link got you?
no.
Just how detailed this conversation is about this fighting.
Hey man, shit matters. But to jump to the thing, I feel like they did a great job with this shit. But they also added stage creation for the first time.
Yes, I heard about this.
In Ultimate, not in it was in the other ones, but this is the first time it's in Ultimate, and it seems pretty cool. You can actually like draw on the Switch to like. It's very
Yeah, you
robust
can- that's
compared
right.
to
It's
the
got a
last couple ones.
touchpad.
And I want to show you something really damn cool that a best
No,
friend
it's
did.
going to be penis stages.
And it's not.
I
penis.
saw
what
those going
everybody's doing.
around. I
Yes.
saw the 9/11 stage. I was like,
Jesus Christ, that is not.
I think it was Cecilia from Kotaku put
Hopefully
out
it
like, this
was
is like
in
why we
honor
can't
of-
have nice things.
This comes from Scoom Poof.
Scoon Poof. Okay.
Can't
well,
leave
this is
people
gonna
with
be.
creator
Scoom
tools.
Poof. Oh, wait,
God only knows what's happening in dreams right now.
Oh yeah.
It's like a beta thing going on with
No,
Dreams,
early
or-
access for Dreams is up now.
Did you see actually that like somebody was recreating Journey, for example, and like so that's starting to happen.
Sure.
Somebody
Yeah.
made
Oh,
part
wow.
of Journey. Yeah, it's pretty
Wow.
cool. Even just the thought of it, whether or not it plays.
There he is.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
A new challenger approaches.
Look at that pretty.
Did you don't pick your opponent, right? They pick it like
It's up to you
If
it's
you're just playing
or
random
whatever.
verse.
Yeah.
what just
So I'm
happened
doing it
there?
right now.
He just got smushed.
Oh, Joey sent this out earlier,
Yeah.
right? This is the Kind of Funny
This is-
Games Daily
they made
level.
Kind of Funny Games Daily a stage. So
that's me shuffling my
great.
I
papers at
see.
the desk.
Papers down. That's me with
With
the
a
blue
hat?
eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then,
You're drunk.
yeah, and then looking at the.
I
Oh,
see.
they put the
desk.
TV in
Yeah,
there too.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's the
It's
desk.
kind of hard to see
This is
That's
genius.
this
awesome.
angle,
Oh,
but
and Craig's, those are his papers.
Yeah.
Because Greg will hold the papers in the end of the show. That's fantastic.
Very
well
good.
done.
Who did
made
this?
this?
this Scoom Poof.
Good job, Scoon Poof.
Good old Scoom Poof.
Scoon,
did
scoon
this.
or scoom?
Yeah, I'm trying to zoom
Scoom or
out now.
scoon?
SCOOMPOOF on the Kind of Funny Reddit did it. If you want to get this stage yourself, you can just go into the stage creation thing on the internet.
That's awesome.
And search for
It's
Kind
really
of Funny.
funny.
And
It's really
it'll
good.
come up.
It's really
But,
clever.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Why is it in a church?
So it's a Pokemon Coliseum that they're in.
Okay, sorry.
So
They just
is
had
that
to
how
pick
it
a
works? You have to pick a background that exists already, but then you can make whatever you want.
Yes,
Got it.
Exactly. And
Okay.
people have been doing some really cool stuff, and like as you can see, like you can add motion and stuff, like with
papers.
your papers and
Yeah.
stuff. And my
There's like lava on the bottom of it too.
Yes.
That's cool.
my head's
Death,
moving a little
paper,
bit there. You can
lava
kinda see.
situation.
I'm just like feeling it.
Can you jump
know?
on your hat? Probably not.
I don't think so.
That CPU
but you can
is
decide
just
if you
not,
want to do that or not.
I'm sorry, the CPU is like just randomly
it's a level 3. Yeah.
trying to
what
do.
What are you gonna do?
Like
here?
I don't understand though. Seriously, like he's like
Well, you
he's
can dial
making
the
big,
difficulty.
He's making big moves and you're nowhere near him. Like
Yeah.
why would
They're
you do
actually
that?
really good when you set them higher. They won't leave you alone and they will beat the crap out of you. So I don't know why that Kirby's acting so stupid right now.
Well, I think it's just demo mode for Tim. He just put
Yeah.
it. he
Yeah.
just-
I was just showing you the level.
Yeah,
Point
exactly.
better.
Now he's showing
Yeah.
us how Joker
All right.
moves.
That's really
That's
neat.
That's really cool.
Cool.
Somebody make the Kind of Funny Dreams level now too. I
Yeah.
volunteer all of us to do the VO.
Okay. I mean,
There you go.
I like that.
I volunteered you too. I guess you're in it too.
I've never been in the creation thing.
Well, no. All you have to do is you just send me your voice files, talking to your phone.
Oh.
I'll give them to the creators. They'll
Got
put
it.
them in the game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
send all the lines of dialogue to Kevin, and he'll tell us what to
100%.
do.
Anyway, I think they're doing a really great job with this. I love that they are adding more
Do
stuff.
we know when the next thing's coming? Have they
No,
any
but
news?
they've already said that like they've been working on it, and like we know that all 5 packs are going to be out by next February. So
Oh, okay.
like doing
So
the math
probably,
on that, I
yeah,
imagine we're going to get some
quarterly
announcements pretty
kind of thing,
soon. But it's cool. I'm actually really happy with the 3.0 update they did, because like adding stage creation and stuff, that kind of shows that they might add more modes in the future,
Yeah.
and hopefully like keep reducing the gimmicky bullshit from the spirit stuff and just enhancing that and making it better, because I just want to keep going back in.
Yeah.
You know me.
And it's free, right?
There'll be 2,000 spirits by the end of this, and I'll get
Have
them
them
all.
all.
Gotta
I'm
catch
proud
them
of
all.
you. I'm
Thank
proud
you.
of you.
Thank you.
You know, because you always want to thumb your nose at me and my platinums. I'm glad. Yeah,
And
look
here
at
he
you.
is.
Look at
I
you
need my own
obsessed
nerd
with it.
shit, you know?
Exactly.
Joey,
Joey.
we need to talk about Portia. Portia?
She's gone, dude.
Portia.
Portia.
I think.
She's coming.
Come
There
back
she
around
is.
the horn, Joey. No?
There you are.
She's back.
Yeah, it's time for you to talk about your time with Portia.
That's really why I like the game. My time with Porty. No, it's my time at Porsche.
Portia. Okay.
It was a Steam game, and they brought it out to all the consoles. It's very Stardew, Animal Crossing-y.
This sprung to my radar because I've seen a million press releases for it, but mainly Britt from What's Good had been tweeting about like, hey, I'm obsessed with this, and I'm playing it while I do the
I
gym
haven't
stuff.
seen her talking about it. I
What do you
must
think
have
of
missed
it? Because you're Miss Stardew Valley.
Yes. I like it. It's definitely way more complicated than Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Especially with crafting in this one, because you have to like craft pieces to make machines to then make parts to make other things. I'm like, this is a lot of steps that
Sounds very
are a
much like the
little
real world.
bit- Yeah, right? But like, it's not as fun when you do it in a video game. But it's really fun. They have like a lot of different mechanics, and you pick up tasks, and it's all the same like relationship stuff. I've still only probably put like 7 hours into it. I haven't played
Only
that much
7
between. I mean, I got it.
I heard load
maybe
times are bad,
yesterday.
right?
My
Yeah,
time, Porsche.
I checked it last night because I was like, this seems obscene. And from starting the game on my Switch to like actually getting into the game where I can play it
I
took
would wanna
4.5 minutes,
4.5 minutes.
which is doesn't sound long, but when you're sitting
No,
there,
that's a long
it's
time.
a really long time. I was like,
No.
holy cow. So it's one of the things where like they already fixed it. They fixed the in-game loading with a patch, and they're working on the like actually jumping into
Gotcha.
a part now. So it should get a little bit better. But the art style is really cute, and they have like all these really cute animals. It almost looks, the animals in there almost look like Viva Pinata, which is kind of fun because that's something else
This
I would
is all
like to play.
very on brand
I know,
for
right?
Joey. Was
Exactly.
Pokemon Snap a playable game in it as
No,
well?
I know. I wish. No,
Combined
no Pokemon.
Trifecta. Animal
one's-
Crossing in there too.
Right. But yeah, it's really fun. It's like mining.
So you're gonna stick with it?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
keep playing it. I mean, I was up really late last night playing. So
Gotcha. Okay.
as
Got
much
hooks
as like
in
I
it.
have issues with minor things, it still kind of has its hooks in me.
Okay.
Very highly rated on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
9
people
out of
love
10 on
it.
Steam.
People who love it. People who dig
Well,
that.
thank you
love
very much for that, Joey.
Thanks, Joey.
Anthony,
Yeah.
what have you been playing?
I went back into Bloodborne.
it. Now you
It was
platinum Bloodborne.
I know. But
Move on.
no.
Why'd you go back? New Game Plus stuff? Or?
No, builds, different builds. I read about like that you could do like a pure arcane build where you never leveled up anything but arcane and vitality and endurance. And it's been really fun.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like some Nuzlocke challenge shit.
no, it's really not. There was this myth that there was like the magic in the game wasn't really good, and it's actually great. But you have to really
You have to
invest in
build
it.
it.
Yeah. So it makes the first part of the game a little harder. But yeah.
What
So-
about Bloodborne speaks to you on this level? Because like obviously you came on Games Daily. You volunteered to squad up to like shepherd people through Bloodborne. But then it's that whenever I see you sign on to your PlayStation 4, that's all you're playing.
Yeah, being here kind of like rekindled the
Yeah.
desire to like go back in and see what it was like to go back like fresh. I just think that it's like the Dark Souls games, Demon Souls, the Dark Souls 1 and 2. I haven't played 3 yet.
Okay.
And Bloodborne, but especially Bloodborne of all of them for me. It just has this perfect blend of atmosphere and tone and gameplay.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a grindy aspect of it, but no matter how many times you go through an area, even if you're high level, unless maybe the very beginning, you always have to work at it.
There's always a risk.
Yeah,
There's always a
you
chance.
always have to be careful.
Yeah.
And mindful and skilled.
Okay.
So I don't know. I just think it's amazing.
Are you into the other Souls games as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you-
but not on the level of something about Bloodborne, the world and the mixture and the pace of it.
So what does Sekiro look like for you? Like is that something you're
I'm
interested
excited
in?
about, but it's like it feels intimidating in terms of time. Like I want to, because you have to dedicate time.
How
to
many hours
getting-
did you put into Bloodborne though?
I mean, I have different characters, so I've put hundreds of hours total.
So
over
why are
the-
you starting a new character in a weird role? Go play Sekiro.
Yeah, why not put an
No,
hour
but-
into
No,
Sekiro?
because like Bloodborne, I can dip my toe in for like an hour, and
They-
just Sekiro, I would want to like spend. I
You
think
wanna
a
finish
few,
it,
few
right?
hours. Yeah,
That's we all go through that,
Sure.
and it's funny that Sekiro. I finally started playing it. I actually played Demon Souls, but then I never played anything after. And I like the games, but I'm just like I don't have time for this. Sunk my time into other games.
so you never played Bloodborne.
No, I've seen plenty of all this stuff. My brother's crazy about it. I see a ton of it, and I know that I would enjoy it. But my point I'm making is I was like I gotta play Sekiro. Once I finally did, I found myself like. I was like, yeah, why not just play it for 90 minutes? And I saw all these people saying what you say, I don't have time right now. Corey Barlog, for example, creative director of God of War, he's like, I can't do it right now. And I left thinking, I'm like, why not play a game for 90 minutes? Because you do the other thing that I see though is you wait a year.
Yeah, I know. And that's what a pile of shame is when we talk
Yeah,
about it.
but that's like it's like muscle because you want to get into the rhythm with it, muscle memory, and especially if you're having to like go back over areas again and again.
Lately, I feel like I've been doing
that is fair
with all the travel and what we've been doing and the different games, the different embargoes. There's a couple games that I've cheated. Like I haven't given them the proper. It's like I'm gonna jump in and play 30 minutes, which means I'm not even remotely out of the tutorial, which means when I come back in 2 days, I'm like, wait, what was happening? What the fuck was I doing?
Yeah, and you're doing a disservice to the game because then all of a sudden it's like you're frustrated when you're the one that didn't play.
And
by
that's
the
thing is like I'm with you, Fran, I'm with you, Anthony, of like I need to focus if I'm going to play something, and that's why even like with anything I'm playing right now, and it's like, man, I'd love to jump back to the Division. It's like, no, I'm on an embargo. I have a review embargo for Days Gone, right? I'm gonna focus on that and get back to the Division when it's done and I've wrapped it and everything's fine. Because I don't want to leave and come back and wait, what was that? What was this? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm a total hypocrite in asking that question because I won't usually play games until I want to, like what you're saying. I want to take my time to do it. No, I'm probably a good 15, 20 hours in or whatever.
Are you enjoying it?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I guess the thing that I'll say is I asked that question because I think once you get over the fear, you sink your teeth in and then you can't get enough. And the truth is,
that's the thing. Like I did. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you
I need to
you
not
end
get
up
enough.
playing it sooner than you planned because you're like, yeah, I'm gonna make time. So in other words, like it kind of makes you get into it by just getting over that first hump. That's
so
awesome.
I'm proud of you for getting into it and giving this a shot. But like, do you feel like you're getting good at it? Are you understanding the rhythm?
I got in from like scared of those early enemies and I haven't played since Demon's Souls, and it's terrifying when you're not a Souls player. Even when you are, it's terrifying enough, and everybody's talking about how hard the game is. So you get in, and you're just terrified. But long story short, as I've progressed, I've started to really, I feel like, master stuff. And so when I play on Twitch, I have a death counter up, and we enter in chat +1 death. I'm up to about 250.
Yeah,
that's over 15 hours. I feel like I'm doing pretty
part
good.
of like this is no bullshit. I think that part of the amazing, beautiful things about these games is I think they're truly about letting go.
Yeah.
Of like all the things you think you're supposed to do is like not die, that you're not supposed to fail. They're games about failure.
Yeah.
And that failure is how you get better at something and learn. So it's like there's a humbling aspect of it that I think it's built into it that I think is important and meaningful.
So existential.
Yeah, really. It's like very Japanese to me.
It is. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
From Software is very Japanese.
Yeah. So I think and yeah, there's this talk about how hard they are, and they are hard and challenging, but they're also like this thing hard but fair. But I think it's really true.
Yeah.
Like there's other things you play sometimes that they're just like there's moments. I love The Last of Us. Really, I love it. There's moments in that are just so hard.
Sure.
Like some of those encounters, if you're playing on higher difficulty, they're just like how do you even?
Yeah, there's like a perfect run of going around to get all the clickers.
And in this case, it's just a little. You can manage any encounter if you really. Practice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And see, that's the thing with Sekiro, right? Where it was, that dropped in the middle of my Division obsession, which is ongoing and is a lifestyle. It's not a phase, Mal. Where it dropped and I jumped in and I was like, awesome, I'm doing it. And then it was, I have to parry here. The game, parry is all about it. Whereas in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, right, it was like, cool, you can parry moves or you can dodge roll. And I was like, I played 110 hours of Assassin's Creed Odyssey and I never parried once. I just rolled around people, got to their backside and hit them, right? And so when this one started, I was like, ooh, this is going to be such a mindset change right now that I'm not prepared to commit the hours to doing it.
It's one, like 100% nailed it. It's so much about learning from your failures, and that's okay, right? But you don't want to fail as a gamer. That's the great irony of playing it. And then you get stuck on how much am I failing and how much am I learning? But then, watching people try to play this game is amazing. It is such a test of patience.
That's the other thing. Yeah,
it is testing every second. Is trying to bait you in to get hit and get so mad about it. And it's this, you're constantly fighting yourself of like, what did I just do it? I should have just stood there and parried. Because that is, by the way, the easiest way to beat in most cases. You just stand there and you're ready. You're like, I'm not moving. And I mean, you learn moves.
Wait for them to do the thing.
I'm simplifying it, but like truthfully, if you're a lot more patient and you watch the timing, and it's funny, the animations, that's what makes these games so clever too. Like some enemies swing in a way that we're so used to blocking that, right? You're like, block. That's a fight block. Whereas in Sekiro in these games, enemies do this like interesting like timing on stuff that you can't know when the parry's coming until you've played them, and then you got to memorize what that animation is. It's really awesome, and it feels so good when you get it right.
Having not played these games, how much of it,
any of them?
No.
And because of the difficulty thing,
No,
that's the thing.
I just haven't played them.
Yeah,
That's the thing. And also, like, I usually don't like having to invest too much time into games,
Like,
but
unless they're Super Smash Bros.
unless they're spirits, yeah.
And Nintendo in general.
2,000
And
years
Nintendo,
later.
There's no spirits in Mario Kart, and you've put a lot of hours into that.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I
Rather
enjoy
have
those
it
type
fun.
of games.
Hey, no,
but
we all have our very
that's
this
the
is
thing that I enjoy. But and you know, Cuphead comes to mind a lot.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you played Cuphead?
No, yeah, because it's not on PS4. I do have an Xbox that I hardly ever crack open, but yeah.
Just came out on Switch
now.
today.
Today,
Just today.
yeah,
Cool.
Highly
I'm
recommend.
I heard it's great. Yeah.
It is.
Get it for the
It's
plane.
amazing, and I love that, and I've talked about it to death. But I'm going to say it again. Buy this damn game on Switch. Support it. I love it because it's super challenging. It is this kind of like you have to learn, and it always feels rewarding. But I love how quick and bite-sized it is, where when I die, I go right back. From what it seems like with Bloodborne and Dark Souls and Sekiro and all this, how much of it is a boss fight that you have to get through versus getting through a ton of enemies and traversing an area?
There's different areas, so that so much of what's really amazing about the design is the shortcuts that you open up. And then if you do have to, you have to make it to those shortcuts to open them up. And then if you die, then you go back.
Fast travel, right?
Yeah, but it's not even fast travel. Like within an area, like
Checkpoints,
like Yarnum. Not even checkpoints. No, they're just you have one checkpoint.
You open like doors, right?
You open up doors.
I remember this in Bloodborne.
And gates and things, and then it's all like interconnected. You're wandering this way, and then you come across like a lever
That's right.
and you do it.
Yeah, you
but
open
then you can
doors.
shortcut it later, so you can change your run up. But then it does become a run to the boss. Sometimes
Yeah.
you can literally just run past people if you don't want to fight them.
Heroes more checkpoints.
Yeah.
I don't know if it changes the shortcuts later. You learn the levels, but it's a lot of traversal. But that is the thing maybe that you can't see when you just look at it. You kind of experience it, you get to your checkpoint, and then you can go anywhere, but you might want to just run by stuff sometimes because you've got your experience, you don't need them, and that becomes a skill on its own of how it is actually a ninja shinobi game. That's what you are, and so you can sneak, you can run, and try to take it on, and like so there's this risk versus reward of that. But yeah, you'd be surprised at how fast you can move when you want to.
Because I guess you know to really like drive my point home here. Like I like Cuphead because it is you die, you're immediately back in, you're trying again. Like Celeste, like those games.
Yeah.
I don't like things like Mega Man. I've never been able to wrap my head around Mega Man because not only is getting through the level hard, the boss is hard. So it's like you get to the end and you die, and then the trial and error is just like a lot.
Good news for you is there's always, I mean, unless it changes later, there's always a checkpoint right before the boss.
Okay.
So that's the
Generally,
literally
or
just,
close to.
Yeah, I mean, in Sekiro, you're always right there. You're literally always going right in to fight the
that's
boss,
cool.
and they do it that way because they know you're going to die 100 times. So you don't have to worry about that. So it's just about. Yeah, your patience for getting to the next checkpoint.
But you know, this prepare to die thing too is like it became part of the marketing thing, and then there became a whole culture around it, like and the get good thing, and that's an aspect of the game, I guess. But and that was intimidating to me too.
Yeah.
First time I dipped my toes in Demon Souls, I like got
That's
to
brutal.
the first boss. I was like, what? I can't.
Yeah.
And I stayed away from it for like a year. It was just
It was
crazy.
traumatizing. Yeah.
And then there was I don't know what it was. There's something that just opened up about it. About the it was like a Zen thing. It really that's what it feels like.
Jason Schreier recently did a piece about it where he like forced himself to sit down and stick with Bloodborne, and then obviously like everybody else ended up loving it and thinks it's amazing. And I feel like I need to do that, but the problem I always have with it is just in the instances where I have that time to play a game, right? There's always so many things going, and I feel what you're talking about with Mega Man applies to me too. Growing up, where I'd play those kind of games, and if like that's still what video games were, and they didn't evolve, I would not play them, right? Because it was. I remember sitting there with my Sega Master System and playing those kind of games, and just being like.
You felt demoralized
I gotta
ultimately?
do this all again. I made it that far, and I gotta do this, but I still have that trouble with this guy.
Sekiro doesn't have that.
Well, I know, yeah. But like in terms
general,
of my experience with a Bloodborne or a Souls game before, it was just the fact that even though it was modern and it was 3D and it was all these big environments, it still felt that way. Where it was. Cool. The presentation is obtuse. Like I need to not only learn the gameplay mechanic of what they want me to do, I need to learn how this game talks to me. Because it talks to me in a very different way. And it just I never wanted to give it that much time to do. And I feel like I should force myself to do it, but I should also force myself to finish Persona 5. Yeah. And I should also, force myself to play 9 other things on my PlayStation 4 right now.
Did you guys never do a party mode like that where you're like, all right, these guys have never tried, and you're each going to go around the table?
Galvatron, right?
Does it go well or not so
We did
well?
one Let's Let's Play back in the day of Bloodborne, but instead of playing the game, we just did create a character.
Oh well,
Dang
you
it,
can have
guys,
fun
you were
doing
so
that.
close.
It was
Purple
so
hair,
fun.
Yeah,
mustaches.
Yeah,
God, we
hideous.
created
Weird
an
glasses.
abomination in
Yeah.
Galvatron. But
Yes.
yeah, I don't know. We should just give it a shot. We should do a party mode where we just play.
But that wouldn't even be enough time. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah.
we should do a stream, right? Where we do like one of these extra life things where it's like, cool,
Yeah,
we're
that's-
playing
We're
Bloodborne
gonna
for
try.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a few hours, and you can approach it a different way if you're not as worried about where you're at. Someone could drop you into an early, because you can just go back and just enjoy a piece of a checkpoint where you don't have to go through thinking you're going to play from the beginning. But you could just try it.
So
It's like trying a level for Mario is what I'm saying.
But
Like
you can't-
instead
Yeah.
of starting at the beginning, just be like, no, try right here. Just see how you do.
Fran, you can't eat the center of a pizza, all right? You got to work your, you got to
Hey,
eat the
crust
entire
first,
piece.
dude.
Yeah, yeah.
If it
Turn
gets you to
Ring of
try
Star.
a game and give it a shot,
I've tried
that's what
it,
I'm
but I
saying.
think that would be doing a disservice. I think you need to play from the beginning, and I'm saying I need to do that. I need to go back to Sekiro.
Yeah. I mean, you do because it's teaching you the basics, but if you had someone to just teach you the basics, like maybe. Depends on what you want.
I'll help
we
you.
got a guy.
I'm happy to help.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
So-
Extra life this year. Come out and play
There's
Bloodborne for
the
24 hours.
language of these games, right? Where
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
you kind of have to
Yeah.
learn the language. Is the language the same across the games?
It's
or do you-
Japanese.
Similar. There's like
dialects.
there's like a lock on thing that you can sometimes you want to be locked on, sometimes you don't. So that's a thing that's across
Yeah,
the games.
Like flicking the stick between
Yeah.
targets.
Yeah, that's one thing. And then there's dodging is similar-ish, but it's faster with Bloodborne. It's more like that
was always my
you know.
doing the when PlayStation 4 was running all the events, or when PlayStation was running all the events for Bloodborne running up to it, and I would play it. That's what I always took away from it. Is that I always thought in Souls games I felt so heavy.
Yeah.
Like I was like a rock. Where in Bloodborne it was the first
You're
time
nimble,
in my
more
cool
nimble,
gothic
yeah.
jacket, I'm able to roll around and do whatever.
It's also very much like I don't forget that there's a technical term for it. Input, like it doesn't queue up inputs. You really have to be
There's
careful.
like the lag, you mean?
Yeah, the
No.
little bit. It's responsive, but you can't just mash.
Yeah.
you have
Oh,
to
yeah,
you have to do it in
Precise.
time, per some degree
Yeah,
of
yeah,
precision. So that's a difference.
What I can say about the language of these games, and curious of your perspective, the biggest thing that stood out to me is having not played in forever was the items, man. I mean, there's so many weirdly named things
Yes.
dropping, and you're like, what? And then like you're afraid to use items because you're like, I only got one of these things. What am I supposed to do with it?
It's interesting.
I'm like terrified to use like a couple of these items because I think maybe they'll never come back.
But
and
then
these
part-
games are like that.
But
Sometimes.
it's also though what you were saying
use
about
one
like
game
how the
over.
game talks to you, like
Yeah.
and it doesn't tell you it's obtuse. That's
Yeah.
part of the design is that they also wanted a community to grow up around it
Yeah.
and help each other. That's
Yeah.
part of the like, and that's the thing of the mechanic of like there's phantoms in
notes
your
and stuff,
world,
yeah.
and you can join other strangers. It's all like
That's something I've also
You
never
know.
understood from these games, having not played them. How does the multiplayer work?
it's different. So in Bloodborne, you can do it with total random people. You have to. There's bells that you ring, and if somebody else is ringing their bell, you can just meet up and help them. You can only do that when the boss, like if you haven't killed your boss yet, you can summon someone, and if they haven't killed their boss, you can go to their world. But if once you've killed the boss, then you can't do any summoning in that area anymore.
Got
An
it.
agent requires assistance.
So it's like that, and then, or if you and I were playing together, we could set a password, and then we'd have to be essentially in the same spot in the game in both of our games, and then you could summon me or I could summon you, and we would be together as
How many
friends.
people can play together? Just two?
Two.
Cool.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sekiro, I don't believe has any of that. But
Right.
maybe-
It's just it's solo, I think. Right. Yeah. And Dark Souls is similar mechanic, but not with the bells. It's a different like soapstones they're called. kind of thing.
Anthony, you're losing them. We're scaring
I
them.
know. I'm telling you.
I know you're
it's
one of
got-
them now.
We
though.
had him for a second.
I know.
And I am, yeah. It's
Do you recognize also how influential these games are in terms of
100%.
like?
No, that's
and I don't
not-
mean just like there's copycats, but like you read about developers understanding like how. Like the world creation aspect of it and the
100%, yeah. We're lucky enough to be dialed into
imaginative.
the industry in such an interesting way that when I sit here and I'm like, I don't like a game, it didn't click for me. That isn't me saying it's a bad game. It's
No, I
it's
understand.
being a
just not for
student
you.
of the industry. You can easily see. Like I remember I was in charge of the PlayStation team at IGN. Demon Souls came in, and we're like, "What is this?" Freelancer Sam Bishop, you do it.
Yeah.
And the review came back, and I think it was Colin, a proofreader. It was like, Sam's giving this game like a
9+.
9.5.
Nobody
and I was
saw it
like,
coming.
what? And like we read the thing and it was like, I gotta try this game. And I took it home and I was like, what is this game? Like, no,
Like,
thank you.
I'm pretty sure I remember him submitting the script for the video review.
Which we did late
Which
because
would-
it started gaining so much traction.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everybody was into Demon Souls. Like, what
But
is
that
going
stuff would
on?
come across my desk too, so I might be like, "Wait, a 9 something?" And the doubt I had, I was like, "Really?"
Yeah.
But I mean, here it is today. That was spot on.
But you saw that happen. You saw that rise, and you saw Dark Souls, and you saw people really get back to Again, I always talk about video games being a like silly putty that everybody grabs and runs, and like we've taken it so far from where it started, and to see people run with it in this direction that I do think is so similar to a Mega Man, so similar to what it used to be. Of it, here's this game that you do need to get good, you do need to learn, and get good always sounds like so shitty, but like to learn what it's trying to teach you, it's communicating you in a very different way.
Cuphead.
Sure, but another game that I looked at and I was like, "Oh, so not for me." Like I don't want to be punished.
Yeah,
and because I like what it goes back to something we talked about on the show before recently when I was like, "Oh, I'm not an expert in that." Kids like, "What are you an expert at?" I'm like, I feel like I'm an expert at like third person action, open world, that kind of thing. Like that's what I love to play. And all those games communicate in the same language. When I pick up a game and I'm like, cool, dodge roll, and it's not the same button, you're like, wait, why are you trying to reinvent the wheel? Like this is where it goes.
That's what's crazy too, is that language evolves over time. Like it's not just about the controls, but in a lot of ways, when you are playing a third person shooter or first person shooter, left trigger is gonna get the scopes out, and you're gonna be able to aim better and shoot better. Whereas like even a generation ago, like you'd have to click into the right stick to be able to zoom and stuff, and it's like that feels so backwards, And I feel like there's still certain, or like driving cars in games. Before you used to hold A, now it's triggers, and if you play a racing game where you hold A, it feels like out of time, right? Like Mario Kart's the one exception,
and
but
your
that's
thumb would
weird
start
thing.
to hurt. It starts to hurt.
Yes, exactly.
It's
but
sore.
it's cool that like these mechanics kind of evolve over time, and there is a standard that everyone uses, but then it's like there'll be tweaks here and there that like I wonder next gen what will be the things that we've lost here, because I feel like the clicking into sprint is something that we still haven't figured out yet.
Especially if you're like having to like run around a room and then you're trying to do the thing and then you keep clicking it accidentally because you're like frantically trying to get out of the way of something, and then you're suddenly doing things,
some of it is just the amount of buttons and the chance to implement new control styles. It's funny you bring that up, because that's one of the discussions around Sekiro, is that it does have some kind of old school weird default controls, and frankly, I changed them immediately.
What did you change?
Thinking of something that I was like, why haven't I changed this yet? It's driving me nuts. But I forget what the default controls are, but it's how you use triggers for block and how you use swipe and all this stuff and jump. And one of the weirdest things in the game, just to draw an illustration of it. So you switch items while you're playing in the middle of fighting to drink health. For example, so you're in the middle of and you're trying not to get hit, and it wants you to take your thumb off the move stick to heal yourself. You will then stop moving, and that's a default function.
Then you get hit in the back.
A lot of people have just moved that, which I've been thinking about it forever. I still haven't done it. You could move a quick heal to like the Y button or whatever it is. And the point is, it doesn't default in the way that is intuitive, which frankly is, if you don't take the time, it might be super frustrating for you if you try this game.
Well, that was like me with Devil May Cry 5. It's like the default controls.
You said the same thing.
It's just slightly backwards, but like, thank God they let you change it to whatever you want.
It's the exact same thing. I went through the same thing with DMC5. I was like, boink, what's happening here? I was like, why did they do this? And I changed it. It was a lot better.
What's crazy, like even like first-person shooter games, like to see how they've evolved. Like bumper jumper is now like standard, right? Whereas bumper jumper is where it's like in Halo, for example, A is jump, right?
Right.
If you're trying to be mobile and get away while shooting things and aiming, you need to take your finger off the aim stick to jump.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that is just not good. So if you put jump on one of the bumpers.
Like left button. So the trigger's right there for aim or jump, and then you always are moving.
And it fundamentally changes the way you play the game.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's crazy that like these little tiny changes like affect gameplay.
You can move and heal. You can move and jump. Exactly. So highly recommend if you get into these games. Take a second and don't just power through it, because it'll probably make your life miserable.
But that's an interesting question of what we will see from this generation or what's happening now games carry over. Because I do even think with, like, I'm talking about Odyssey, right? Like, the mechanics of dodge rolling and getting behind people to fight, I think is heavily inspired by everything that's happened with the Souls games, right? Because that was the idea that I remember when they came around, is you had to roll around the enemies, get behind them, figure out what's going on. Whereas I think before, for a lot of third person, and I'm at this point struggling to remember. Ezio, if I remember correct, was like pairing so much more.
That was the best to me. I haven't played a lot of the more recent Assassin's Creed, but the Ezio, that combat system worked pretty well. And then I think there was a couple iterations that was like, what is happening?
Sure, well, they introduced guns and stuff with Connor.
It was also so like, it would just auto lock, and you couldn't like it.
That was a little like Batman Arkham type controls.
No,
maybe,
that I could do.
You do like those, yeah?
That I could do, because you can absolutely control who you're gonna hit, and if you get into a rhythm with that.
Yeah.
one of my proudest platinums. Arkham,
yeah.
City.
Which Arkham?
City and Night. Yeah.
Okay, Arkham Asylum too.
I mean, no, I didn't platinum Asylum. That was early
sure
days. And
City's a tough one. Yeah, you got to do those challenge stuff.
I did all those challenges. All of them. Yeah. Because I was going to say I love the third person adventure games too. It's storytelling.
Sure.
Yeah. So I recognize fully that the Souls games are not like it's a different thing. That it's satisfying. But like a story, characters, world. All that
that's
stuff.
always why I always talk. On top of being a trophy whore, I'm a story whore. Like that's what I want. I want to be told a great story when I go in. And so for Souls game, for Bloodborne, it is more of like.
But they have story too. That's the thing.
I gotta read them. Yarnum, the dank Yarnum nugs.
But it's like story told through atmosphere, story told through place, and
environmental storytelling is always really interesting. It's something
and
like
weird.
Last of Us did.
Yeah,
so well.
then you start to put the pennies start to drop as you keep going through. It's like, oh, that's that. That's what So
yeah.
Got to get you guys to play it though.
That
would be funny.
Metroid
to watch.
Prime?
No. I hate you so much.
I want to play
You
Metroid Prime again so bad.
Played it. You have. You never played it?
My college experience was a good part of it was sitting there eating a Tostino's party pizza that you'd make for Walmart for 99 cents while Hayes played it. So I've watched a ton of Metroid Prime, but I never played it.
Metroid Prime's so good. But it's funny because what we're talking about, geez, like in terms of controls, like that game does not play how you think it's going to.
No. But that back then they made a very conscious decision that it was still rooted in adventuring and platforming. And it's funny, I had a semantical discussion with our PC editors at the time because they wanted a first-person shooter because that's what it was to them. But to me, it was Metroid where you jump around and platform. You kind of like Mega Man, you find new powers. And anyway, so it was a lock-on and like jumping around. You'd lock on to shoot, basically. You couldn't just. I mean, you could shoot, but you wouldn't hit anything. You could not.
Well, you would hold R to stop and aim, and then you hit A to shoot.
Yeah, you had two options. One, it was meant that you lock on, so quick changing between targets, a little like Souls games and all that, and Sekiro. But you would change and just shoot, and it wasn't about precision damage. It was about your placement, but it was sort of we ran into the same thing with Resident Evil 4. Same thing with the PC editors. They were like, "This is you just got to like stop and shoot people. What's going on?" But it was terrifying to stop in that game, and that was part of the design. But anyway, I always call it a first-person adventure, and I fought to the death. Greg, you weren't there then.
No.
Could have used your help then. Battlefield 1942, a game I played more than almost anyone else in the office, won Game of the Year at IGN that year. And
that was when you guys used to get together and do like the LAN parties,
right? 3 in the morning,
yeah,
at work, shouting over dads. That was incredible.
Metroid Prime didn't get Game of the fucking Year.
Not at IGN. GameSpot, you got it right. I almost went to GameSpot in 2004 after that. Oh, I was upset. It was a masterpiece. So.
Do you think that we'll see a Bloodborne 2 ever?
I don't know because no one knew about Sekiro. Who knows? Like they feel like they really want to do their own thing. I don't know.
Do you want a Bloodborne 2?
Only if it's good. Really, only if it's good. Like I don't know because it's pretty complete to me. I would love to see more examples of the gameplay and the world. But if it have to be something, I don't want it to just be a repeat. Because the other thing about Bloodborne, and this is like not to spoil, you think it's a werewolf game. And it's so much more than that. It goes so far beyond that into weird realms of craziness.
I thought it was Orders 1986.
You think of like where you think right. You've seen the Beast People, right?
Yeah, I've seen Beast
that's
People,
an aspect of it, but that is like
I always thought it was some weird gothic. It's all
It just looks like hell to me.
but it goes into a whole other weird thing that is certainly interesting.
Awesome.
But not what it keeps subverting itself too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So
I want to call now that it is an exclusive PlayStation 5 title.
Bloodborne
Possibly
2? Bloodborne
cross-platform,
2?
But yeah, I was just making it up. But
I wonder.
think
I really wonder.
That checks out.
Yeah.
I would
Because
think
it is
that
their exclusive.
Yeah.
And they've been very mum on it, and I think that's going to be one of their big ones they come out with because that's what they're building towards. It's about the games.
Yeah, it was a system
tell you
seller
what,
for sure.
They've got
surprise system seller.
They'd sell one PlayStation 5 to Anthony here.
Sure. I also went back and I think I told you in the room. I can't remember who I was talking to. Forgive me. I've never played the first Resident Evil. And I've had it on my hard drive or my machine for a while, and I was like, I feel like I should finally do it.
So this is
it's been a
remake?
pain in the ass.
Remake.
It's a pain in the ass.
It's such a pain in the ass.
Just play Resident Evil 2.
Just jump to 2. That's what I was
the
gonna
newest
play.
version. Play Resident Evil 2.
Just don't even bother
Don't
with
play
this?
the old stuff because
The game, it's a different game. The gameplay is different. The story has really little to do with one, and anything you need to know is recapped. But
why do people love it so much? Why is it so popular?
Because it was a time and
Nostalgia?
place thing. Yeah,
Like,
and
so-
it's more. It's not even the nostalgia because I don't think people are just loving the game now currently.
But it did really well when it got this remaster thing.
yeah.
It was a big hit. It was like
but
a
that
huge
was
thing.
in like 2002.
No, I mean that like the one, and then it got
original
released for the
It just
new
got
generation.
released though, but it was like it wasn't a remade game. This is an old game from the 90s, remade in the early 2000s, that
Right.
is then ported in HD. It's
Right.
like that's the only thing. Whereas Remake 2 is from the ground up made to be a modern game.
It's a
I didn't
brand
know that.
New
Yeah.
game
Oh,
based
I didn't
on
know
the
that.
original,
I didn't know
but
that.
it's all
Okay.
everything's new engine and everything. So it's
Oh,
kind of
okay.
it really is playing a new game. It's just it's familiar to the
Okay,
original.
I got it.
Designed
Okay.
around
It's
it.
fantastic, and it's
Oh.
so much better than
And
Resident
you
Evil 1.
play it because it is relatively slow and terrifying and creepy, and it
The first one, you mean? You're talking about?
just Resident Evil period.
Yeah.
You know, did you play any Resident Evils?
No, that's the thing. I
Exactly,
feel like
yeah.
I had to. Like,
Yeah,
I,
but you just jump
And
in
that's why I'm
Resident
saying it's okay to start with 2 because like stories, because the stories are always cheesy, and that's part of the
Yeah.
the fun of it. I think they improved it a little bit with 2, but it's just the atmosphere, man. It's
Yeah.
so creepy, and a lot of games are more rooted in action. This is not afraid to let you walk around this very creepy mansion, and
Yeah.
then stuff gets intense.
Yeah.
But the thing about like in this first one, you have to. If you didn't have a guide, how would you ever know what to do?
And 2
Where
is
to
not
go?
that. 2 is
Like,
very much when there's
Do you
a,
know what I'm talking about?
100%.
You're right.
We've talked about this in the show a million times. My favorite horror movie. I love horror. My favorite horror movie is zombie movies. I love video games.
Yeah.
When Resident Evil dropped, I was like, oh my god, yeah. And I'm talking PlayStation 1 days. And putting those in there, I just never could. I hated the controls. They were tank controls. I hated not knowing what the fuck I was doing when I looked at
Yeah.
the map. And so throughout the years, like Resident Evil 4, obviously I played and beat, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. It didn't click with me for the way it did for so many
It's
people.
more of an action game. Yeah.
And so when Resident Evil 2 came around, and I played Code Veronica, I digress. But when Resident Evil 2 got remade here, and we played it, when we were watching pre-coverage of it, when Tim went and played it for previews, I was like, this sounds like it's going to be my jam. And playing
Yeah.
it totally was, because it did. Hey, here's this classic game that we're remaking from the ground up, and we're putting in a map that makes sense. And you you know what doors do what, and you know based on this what you need to find. And when you find something, you're like, oh, I know I need to go put it there because I've either seen something and it remembered it for me, versus getting fucking tokens and weird shit in the other games. Like, I don't know what the hell do any of this crap.
Yeah. And, Resident Evil 1 is a classic, and so many elements of it are very cool. But from a gaming perspective, I don't think it's great at all. I think it holds up, and I think that they made a very good decision with 2 to be like, we're going to take the spirit of what that game was, but make it modern and actually just make it a good game.
Yeah.
And they really succeeded. It's my game of the year so far.
Cool.
And there's been some really killer games this year.
Yeah, put
that
the
was nice.
division
That's
in your
cool.
drive. You know what I'm talking about?
Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah. And you could probably, spend 12, 15 hours with it. And
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Oh,
And
Resident
that's the
Evil 2?
thing.
Oh, Resident
That's
Evil
the
2
thing,
is
is
way
it's
quicker.
quick.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
get the whole thing done in 10 hours.
I was
yeah, if
just
you're
saying,
really pushing
okay.
10 cinematic
cool.
hours.
Have you?
Yeah.
Did you ever play? Or no, you should play Resident Evil 7 too.
Yeah, I've heard that's really good.
Resident
Yeah.
Evil 7. Do you VR? Do you PlayStation VR?
I don't have VR now. I love Dead Space and Dead Space 2.
Hell yeah,
I
you
love
do.
them. I
Hell yeah,
love
you
them.
do.
Love
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
So
so
I like
good.
scary. I like scary, creepy. Like that's not the part that.
Oh sure,
The
yeah,
first
yeah,
one
yeah.
is like-
Yeah, Resident Evil 7 was really great, and it was really scary in VR
Yeah.
because like you can see everything here. It's right.
Oh,
in
and
your face
Alien
and
Isolation too. It was
Ah,
great.
yeah.
It was great.
Let me tell you about our sponsors. Go back from the
stuff. And we insert
sponsors.
them later. You don't have to do it. See, it's just
Katana Zero.
we
We
talked
talked about it
yeah.
a little bit last week.
What is it?
Switch game, side scroller, really cool neon color palette. You are a ninja with your blade, and if people shoot at you, you can knock the bullets back. If you time it right, you can slow down time. When you die, you rewind time like a VHS tape, and then do it again, like because you're like you're envisioning how you're gonna go through the level and do it.
Yeah.
So you were talking about last week. And
Barrett was in love with it.
Yeah. You were kind of like,
It wasn't last week. It was so the story went that when I played on the plane, I played too much in one sitting, and I hated. It was a plane ride to New York. So by the end of it, I was like, nah, I don't know. I'm grumpy to be on the plane. I didn't like that this thing happened. And then when I took time off and came back to play it last week before the show, I was like, oh no, this game's great. And then we were back on track.
yeah. And then, friend, you've been playing.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I haven't played like a ton, but I guess I feel like I played 30, 45 minutes. But it's very much, it reminds me of the punishing feeling of a game like Celeste, certainly rooted in that old school hardcore kind of feeling. And that's the point. You're going to dial out, you're going to rewind immediately and play it a different way. So I really enjoy it. The feel of it is great and the style is great. Yeah, this like neon ninja, just cyber
Neo Tokyo
feel.
kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Neo Tokyo kind of feel. And the story is interesting too. I mean, I don't know how it sort of continues throughout, but you're curious about the character that you are, and he's like a little mysterious. He's getting drugs from his psychiatrist for something, and you have a little bit of choice in what you say in the narrative. And actually, I thought that was a nice touch, is sometimes depending on what you say, they go back to it, or it does affect sort of the level a little bit. You can actually have a little bit of different outcome occasionally.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, general thumbs up. I think you got to pick it up. It's what, $15 or something?
Yeah.
Seems to be a really good deal.
It was Devolver's most pre-ordered game, they said. They tweeted out. I'm pretty
Awesome.
sure. Maybe.
That's nuts.
Kevin, fact check me on that.
Devolver's
Devolver
they're the ones that did Hotline Miami, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like what I love about this, and it's got that old school feel you said, right, Fran? Mm-hmm. And I'm the guy who just said like, oh, I don't want to play Mega Man or this. It's got the new school version of the old school feel, which for me is Hotline Miami, it is Celeste, it is now Katana Zero, it is Super Meat Boy, where cool, you failed, bam, right, go, here you go again. There are bite-sized levels for the most part of like, there are at least screens where you're going through, you died, go back. It's not like we were talking about with Mega Man, right, of play through this long level, die, oh god, I'm going all the way back to the beginning and doing it. Like they segment it up in a way.
And I love that. I love the idea of it's essentially a puzzle game that just requires dexterity and you to be quick with your fingers with the action, where it's like every room kind of, you just need to figure out the puzzle of how to get through it, right?
And that's the thing of like what I was telling you last week, right, is that I feel by the end of it, I had gotten what I thought was the way to do it, and I was doing it that way. And then when I picked it back up and started playing again, I was like, oh, I was actually playing wrong. I should be dodge rolling more. I should be doing this more. I've been playing it since the games cast again to beat it. And again, like, oh, I'm on the bus. I'm going to do this thing. Still love it. And I think it is, the more, I just had a bad experience on the plane, I think, more than anything. It was just being like, I'm ready to get off this fucking plane.
It definitely looks cool. Kev, are you interested in playing this? It seems like a Kev game.
Yeah, I really want to play it.
Cool.
It's great. Yeah, that was probably one of the bigger important notes was you can play these little sections over and over in different ways. Everybody's going to play differently.
Yeah.
And it feels great. So yeah, like one time you might run through, slash a bullet back at them, slow time. Sometimes you don't slow time at all.
Yeah.
I'm on a mission right now where they say don't harm anyone. I mean, you totally can and keep going, and then the doctor's going to yell at you.
Yeah, he's going to get in your case.
So like that's what's interesting. You can play it your way, but you can also watch the replay. Speedrunners are going to, I think, have a ton of fun with this. Just the way that you can do stuff. But just an example, sometimes you like run a room, slice a guy's head off, you grab a glass bottle, but a bullet's coming at you, so you slice that back in slow-mo, then you chuck the bottle because the next guy is going to shoot you before you would have had time.
And it's those puzzles.
Or you could have slid under it, and so that's the point. You have a lot of options while you're playing, and you get a little addicted to that loop of like, I can do it better, I can do it faster, and you memorize the way you do it. It's
right
awesome.
now, I'm in the final level, and it's like that's where they're stitching it together a little bit longer, but not to a part where it's breaking me, but it is more like, now it's the, all right, cool, I did that. Okay, I died here. Okay, now I did that, and I died there. Like, you're trying to piece it all together.
It's kind of musical in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're like, you hit a wrong note. You're like, all right, sorry.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly.
you gotta make it through in
That's
sort
a
of
really
your
good. Damn, Fran's smart.
your tempo. But you decide the tempo and the notes you play. It's pretty cool.
How many levels are there?
The tapes are stacked up. The game's like five and a half.
How
maybe
does
to run
it
through.
work that it keeps flashing back? It says, 8 days remain. Like, is that just the general storyline? Or
That's
did
the
you get
general
a sense that
storyline. Yeah.
But it's not necessarily like major world leveling up or anything.
No, it's just for the story they're telling you.
Does
or
it
whatever.
end? Well, I guess no spoilers. But
Devolver Digital tweeted one day ago, dang, Katana Zero is our most pre-ordered Nintendo Switch game so far.
Man,
so that's it.
that's
And they've
really
put out a lot of
impressive.
Switch
Yeah,
stuff,
they've got
including
some good
8-Bout.
shit.
Dude, it's
which
like
y'all should play.
3-person team or something. The music's really cool. I think it's a small team.
I think it's
pretty
one.
sure.
I think it's
Justin.
one. Yeah, Justin's
It's
just
not
the guy.
just Justin, is it? Yeah.
I thought so, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's why it
Might
took so long,
be.
because in 2015 he came and showed it to us.
Follow him on Twitter. He was nice enough actually to stop by one night. Well, I was, it was the embargo info you sent. You could play up to a level. I went live, and my Periscope goes live on Twitter, and somebody jumps in. It actually was a name I never saw it. I did get a little worried. He's like, hey, how are you playing this game, And then I saw them chatting. He's like, yeah, I'm the creator. He's like, are people playing? I was like, don't worry, it's an embargo. And I had to explain to him that I was not going to play past a certain level. He's like, oh, okay, cool.
I'm revealing everything right
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
So
but
funny.
check it out. There's a few musicians on there with that like retro synth wave
Yeah,
track stuff.
yeah.
It's pretty neat when you play levels.
a really good game.
Their name comes up like on the cassette tape, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's neat.
Really cool shit. And then World War Z.
Oh yeah, I wanted to know, Greg. Did you? I played a little bit of it.
So the deal with World War Z was saw it at GDC, really dug it on PC, wanted a PlayStation 4 code so we could go and do a party mode for it, and dropped on Tuesday. They delivered codes bright and early in the morning. I got here bright and early, installed it on all the PlayStation 4s, and in true launch day fashion of a 2019 game, those servers were on fire. So it was like, cool, we can't play this.
So you tried and died.
So like, Tuesday night, I think I played Days Gone more, and then obviously yesterday
So you didn't
shot to LA. I haven't touched it on a console.
And you did say you played it at preview events or no?
Played it on PC at a preview and a GDC.
Is it a totally persistent world like
no.
MMO thing?
No, World War Z. Did you ever play Left 4 Dead?
No.
It's like that, where it's going to be these contained campaigns that are like storylines with 4 characters for each one of the campaigns.
And they're random people you're playing with, or they could be.
It can be random. You can partner up, and then there is so that's the PvE part, and then a PvP.
Yeah.
VZ, where it's 2 teams of players, and then zombies also in the world that you're worrying about.
So you're
there.
playing
And regular
against
PvP.
each other and the zombies.
Yeah, the zombies are attacking.
And there's just regular PvP, right? Where it's just, I'm pretty sure I
Well,
hopped
the
in one
zombies
where
are in
was-
it no matter what, right? So I mean,
I played PvP. I didn't think I ran into zombies, but possibly.
that would be very awkward if the game's World War Z and there's no zombies, though, right?
But for PvP, you're just fighting other like faction. Anyway,
How is it, Frame?
I was surprised. But yeah, like general overview too. If you know World War Z, that's the one, the poster where they all come together and they start getting over walls of stuff because they use each other like ants, to get over stuff. And that is exactly what they do in this game. Huge amounts of zombies, and they really do a good job of playing into that. Sometimes, they quote unquote fake it. You'll look outside and you'll see just like rivers of zombies coming at you, and you're like, ugh. But inside, there's a lot of zombies. So it is a lot more arcadey. I kind of call it, I don't know why, but it's got that stretchy, kind of cartoony, animated feel to it. So in some ways, yes, it's Left 4 Dead.
You mean the art style?
Yeah, like when you blow stuff up, it's a little more, like explosive and stretchy. I don't know why that's the word I use. It might not be the best one. Stick with the musical metaphors.
Okay.
But
Man, he's bad at this.
but it's 4 people playing together, like Greg said, you can matchmake or not, and you're just like gunning lots of zombies down.
That's what I loved about it, is that I've been saying, where's Left 4 Dead again? Like, I want another Left 4
and
Dead.
it does, like, initial reactions, I had server connection issues, but they eventually started to stabilize.
From what I've seen on
And-
Twitter too, they're being very open and communicative about that.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we know, we're working. This is the patch we're pushing right now. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, but it was fine. I ran into a hard crash. I had some issues, but it was not to the level that was crazy. I mean, even Division experienced stuff like this.
Okay, don't you keep that out of your mouth right now.
It's true, Greg. Don't ignore the truth. But
You can't handle the truth.
it absolutely is fun. I'd love to play it with a team.
So it's fun. You like it?
I've match made. Yeah, I don't know how long that will last, but that is also the interesting hook. Is it's not just that the 4 of us grab a gun and you go in. It is based in classes. So if you are a certain class, there's a huge tree, to level up, and you can choose if you want to be a C4 class and have a C4 to throw out. It really gets interesting. The abilities, you're earning coin in the game that you can then buy abilities within your trees, and you really have to make these choices. There's like 7 or 8 classes or something like that. So it's got a lot of depth, and the weapons you use, and you constantly whatever you find in the world, you can just pick up and use, and you put down a new one as long as you have ammo, and that is leveling up to get mods and better perks and abilities on that.
And then as you level up, you can unlock. So it's like, like you really like a shotgun, you can start with a shotgun, and it'll have those mods.
Yeah, so you can really like experiment, play to your style, and as you begin to play, by the way, it's kind of defaulted on 2 out of 5 skulls or whatever. I didn't try anything different, but it was
That's difficulty, right?
yeah. It was, or maybe there's zombie phases. I don't know, but it was 2 out of 5 that it was. I noticed it was set to after playing a bit. It was very easy in the beginning. I was like, I don't know, I don't feel the threat. But as I started to progress a little bit, it did get a little hairy. And you can't move forward unless you res your teammates. You can't leave someone down and make it to the door. Everybody's got to come with, and that's a big factor of the gameplay. And even,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, and then maybe the last note is within the world, you can also do some cool stuff, like they'll have cases where you'll get barbed wire out of, or you can set up a turret and stuff like that. So you can strategize a bit to the impending danger and play it differently. And yet, you're really going to have to communicate with people.
Have you
I think.
completed any of the storylines? Because I know there's, 3 at launch?
Right, each character I don't know, there's a lot of... Oh no, there's 4 characters. I see what you're saying. Yeah, there's 4.
Right? But there's every campaign has different 4 set of characters. Is what I was told at the preview.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
So it's like
that.
Left 4 Dead, how they had those different they made a movie titles or whatever.
I didn't even realize that because I jumped in and the episodes. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm on episode 1.
Okay.
I guess.
Anyways,
I didn't get that. I played for 90 minutes, 2 hours. I don't know, or something.
Did you see teamwork moments? Because that's what I found cool in my demo, and I think we did episode 2. But at the end of it, it was cool. This new NPC's got to work on the car. And then we also need stuff from over there. So 2 of us stayed behind, and like developers were there, like telling you, like, you should try to do this. 2 of us stayed behind, 2 of us went over there, and so it was this like, are you guys almost done? They're really coming. Oh god.
So yes, that starts that, but that's why I want to play with people, because I did matchmake and there was no voices happening in that. PvP voices were on like all the time. For whatever reason, I wasn't hearing anybody on default in the PvE. But you would work together, but I could tell you really could use to communicate.
Sure.
Because people would be doing stuff. You're like, why are you over there? Get over here, and let's camp out here. But
I mean, dude,
has potential for me, having played so much Division lately, 100+ hours. It's nice to take a break and have that arcadey kind of aspect of just gunning stuff down, and even like I'm leveling guns up, but I don't have to think about it. And like Division, you think about everything. I'm just like, I'm gonna use this SMG. I like it. I know now that if I keep playing with it, it'll be a better one later. So I like those aspects. I realistically have too many games between Sekiro and Division and all that to play, but I would like to play with folks like you guys and then come back to it at some point. But if you have time to play it now, at least early review, it seems like it could be a lot of fun. But we'll see what the depth is.
Is it a full release, or this is just like a beta thing? This is
it's full release.
Full release. I feel like the PR was a little quiet. Don't you
I'm not like super on the pulse, but I didn't know.
Yeah, no, I remember I remember last E3, them trying to get me to come see it, and I didn't for some, I think we were just too booked. And then when they hit me up for GDC, I was like, all right, cool. And going in, I was like, I had no expectations. And I was like, holy shit, this is actually really good, I think. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was worried that the PS4 version would come out and not run, because the PC was doing well.
And we all went through the Overkill's Walking Dead, and like, I think, Frank, it's funny that looking back on that, it's kind of a little bit, wouldn't you say, it's a little bit of what you wanted out of that, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, I've been wanting another Left 4 Dead forever. So, yeah. And so, I'm stoked to play it and try it out and get in there.
Well, let's go, man. We got codes.
Do it,
Whenever you got time. The good news is you can totally jump in, play a couple levels within 45 minutes, an hour, and that's it. You don't have to.
Let's try to get some tonight.
I'd totally be down. It'd be awesome.
With you two specifically.
Wait, what? You want to play tonight?
No, you're going to see a concert tonight.
No, it's Friday.
Oh, that's right. That is. Is it?
That's what we talked about.
You see Michael Bublé?
Yeah.
No. Anthony Raps in concert here in San Francisco.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Okay.
No, we have a whole date night planned.
Wait, so everybody knows.
Me and my wife.
I love it. Destiny and Division update is what I have down here. You got some bullshit you wanted to say.
Hey, whoa! Wait, is it
Destiny?
Destiny bullshit? Yeah, okay.
Let's be quick with Destiny because Andrea's not here. Andrew Renee, another host on the show, plays Destiny. This week is the Revelry. I'm sure you all know if you're still playing the game. If not, it is a spring event, and it's really just, it made the tower all vibrant and green. You can earn new armor. What they did was they took what's called the Infinite Forest, which is you just keep it. It used to not be infinite, funnily enough. Now it's actually infinite. Shut up, Kevin. I swear to God.
It used to not be
None of this
It's a video game. I assumed it wasn't really infinite.
The short review is it's a pretty basic event. It's breaking the Crucible PvP because it's got some perks where, like, if you basically get drunk. It's called Revelry Tonic that makes you feel fuzzy. I'm like, all right, y'all
Touch fuzzy, get dizzy.
But you can drink it, and then like you can say your nades will go faster, right? So they'll recharge faster. You can bring that anywhere in the world in competitive. Like competitive PvP, true competitive as well as regular, but it's not going well.
What do you mean true competitive versus regular?
They actually have competitive versus quick play. Quick play is you don't earn any points. The matchmaking style is a little more casual, whereas in competitive, it is ranking you against people of similar skill. The higher you go, the higher the stakes. So it gets rough. But anyway, check out the Revelry. It's actually out for 3 weeks, though. You've got time, but if you want to test
is it worth it? If
well, the good news is it's free as part of the season pass. Gotcha. And there's a new exotic that is easy to get. So if you are a collector in Destiny, it's called the Arbalest. It's a linear fusion. It's cool.
We're all such fucking nerds. Here I am talking about Smash Bros. Here you are talking about Bloodborne. Here you are talking about this, and all of us.
It's different versions.
Oh, Mr. Division.
So anyway,
get the hell out of here.
I have a lot more thoughts, but we'll talk about Destiny another time. Division 2.
Yeah, no, you dropped a bomb on me. Of course, I was doing work yesterday. I saw in the Uber, I think I saw, we're going live with our weekly update. Yeah. I was like, I'll get updated later.
And you've been so busy.
Yeah, I missed this. So you're telling me the raid's been delayed.
The raid, which was April 25th, has been delayed, and we don't know the date. So it's in May, though. So they said they need to tune it up because they're doing so many changes to like perks and like it's going to change how things work. And I feel like they haven't had time to truly get it right. and it's affecting the raid. But 2, I don't know what's going on with the raid if it truly is like balanced and ready.
Yeah.
But either way, they're like, hold on, we need to make sure it's good. And so they just said, you know what, we're going to delay it into May. So they didn't really say when. Another huge aspect, if you're grinding and you're max level, you can actually, in a future update, but it's coming, you're going to be able to get drops above 500. So that means your guns, which you can't get above 500 right now, you can get them in the Dark Zone exclusively.
Oh, well, we're talking about why to go play in the Dark Zone.
So an incentive, and they're also working on bringing in a lot more players because they are, the way they're doing the caps, they didn't want you feeling like you couldn't go in without getting crushed.
Yeah.
But they also recognize it's empty. The words out of their mouth are like, it's pretty empty in there. And so they're working on changing the Dark Zone. So part of that I'm excited about. Part of me is like, couldn't you give me another option in terms of those like you can get 515 is the power. 515 drops for the guns like somewhere else in the world, because what if it is brutal to get them? That's the only place.
We'll have some fun.
But yeah, part of me was that too. I'm like, just recalibrate then. Well, you can't recalibrate your guns. Without getting too far into this.
With Division, is there replayability? Like, are there different kind of
Greg,
ways you can go about like doing it? Like,
Yeah, it was
that's
like,
one of the things I do enjoy is when you can try it this
that's
way,
the
try
whole
it that
game.
way.
They did a great job with this one of the not locking you into stuff. Even when you hit the end game, right? When you hit level 30 and turn the corner to like now you're playing for hundreds of hours doing, same missions, doing these different things. They unlock 3 specializations. Each of those can be switched out at will. Each of those have their own upgrades. Each of those you're earning points for individually. So it is that, cool, I want to try the crossbow, I want to try the grenade launcher, I want to try the sniper. And then, of course, any guns you get, you can switch out on the fly and do whatever you want.
It's truly one of the
greatest games of all time.
I don't know. I don't want to overstate it, but I feel like it is one of the few games that when you change up your gun loadout, it really makes a big difference. Even though you're ducking behind cover and shooting stuff, but it really changes how you play, and they do a really good job with that. So even sometimes you just get a really good drop, and you're like, oh, now I'm totally changing how I play. So yeah, it's really good on that. But it's one of those games, I call it a pen and paper spreadsheet, type game, because
that's
like,
how you play.
You don't have to. Yeah, Greg doesn't worry as much about it. But there's
Fran's in there like, oh man, what? I need to save this skill and do that. I'm like, Fran, just go. You've been looking at your menu for 45 minutes. Go play something.
I honestly can't even think about it. There's so many stats. My only negative commentary on the game currently. I love it, Greg, but the pressure I go through to keep my stash. This isn't a joke. I'm like,
I know, but it's a pressure you put on yourself. I go there now and I'm just like, loot, or I'm scrap. I don't even care. Whatever.
It just wants you to look at so many things, but anyway, it's almost overly detailed. They could use some solutions on.
Here's my one question from State of the Game. They had bad news. Did they, knowing them, did they have good news? Did they like, hey, this is the bad news, but we're adding this, we're doing this?
I think that was the Dark Zone stuff. They're like, we're going to improve the Dark Zone. We hear you. But outside of that, it was just, we're going to fix the Dark Zone and higher drops. There wasn't anything big beyond that. Not that I remember.
Well, to wrap out the show, Vitz Patel writes in.
Wrap out the show.
And he has a question for you, actually. He says, I just wanted to ask about your favorite space opera video game, be it Mass Effect or something a little more abstract, like No Man's Sky. Thank you for all you do. Loving Star Trek Discovery.
Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Mass Effect 2 and 3. I never played the first one because I didn't have a PC. And then when it came out later, I was like, I started and it was like, it was so much harder to, like, it was wonky.
Yeah.
So and I was like, I feel like I still should. But Mass Effect 2 and 3 are 2 of the all-time favorites.
Did you play Andromeda at all?
I did not play Andromeda yet. I was a little scared that it was going to make me sad.
Yeah.
Like, not for the right reasons.
Yeah.
But I think I will. I want to.
They fixed it up. Yeah.
So,
for people who didn't watch you on Games Daily because they're foolish, what is your video game history? Because I found it fascinating, right? Like, you're super...
I was like arcade boy in the 70s and late 70s, early 80s. Played tons of like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Galaga, Centipede, like that kind of stuff. And I never had a home console until later. I got a PS3 because I bought a piece of video art, and it came with a PS. It ran off of a PS3.
Which is still the craziest thing. Explain that again.
How'd you find sense to me?
Yeah,
of course it did.
And in the meantime, I was touring. I was on tour in 2009 with a laptop, and my friend gave me Dragon Age.
Hell yeah!
Oh, and I played Baldur's Gate with him.
Sure.
So that was like my bridge. Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age, and then
what's video art?
Shit. Video art is like if you had a TV on the wall and it's running off of a hard drive or something, and it just displays on the TV.
Oh, okay.
The reason it made sense to me is that we forget easily that PlayStation 3 was one of the greatest media players in its time, because like it could do everything you needed in terms of storing music and video and playback, and like quite frankly, you couldn't depend on anything, or you'd have to rig up a PC or whatever. So PlayStation was an easy way to do it. I assume that's why it was on
and it would just loop. It would just play. if you wanted it to.
Exactly. Like little features like the video player on it was good and it worked, and you didn't have to think about it. What else were you going to buy it at the store? That was
first
work?
off,
it came with it though. I didn't like pick it out. Like this is the package.
Yeah,
that
they just
came.
gave it to you, but not for gaming, right? 'Cause
exactly.
It was a good media.
I was like, I have this in my apartment. I wonder what's out there. So what? So the first Assassin's Creed and Arkham Asylum were two of the first games that I played of that gen.
So that just like blow your mind.
Yes.
This is where we're at. Okay.
Yes, 100%. And then I was all in.
That's crazy.
And then the Mass Effect 2 was also really early.
Well, he's like such a dream case for the PlayStation trophy system, right? Of like coming back in and he's like, you know what? I do want these platinums.
Yeah.
I'm an accomplished Broadway actor. I do want all these platinum trophies, please.
That is awesome. Well, the last question I have for you is, what game are you looking forward to that's not out yet?
Last of Us 2.
Good pick.
Hell
Good
yeah.
pick.
It's a very good choice.
Yeah.
Do you have the Last of Us platinum?
No.
Okay, yeah.
Because of the
Bad trophy list.
multiplayer.
Of course, terrible choice.
No.
Bad trophies
Yeah.
on that one.
Well,
Yeah.
the multiplayer, like, okay, let me try multiplayer. You go into the thing. You have to pick I walk 2 feet and I'm shot in the head and killed. And then you spawn somewhere else.
They had a whole thing too. You could play like 20 hours and then lose.
Yeah, it's
and
like,
then all right, cool. Now you don't. Now you have to start the trophy thing again.
it's
Because it was like you had to get your team. And then you had to play it the opposite way. You had 2 different. It was the whole.
I just don't. That's not why I played.
No
All right,
Neil.
Bruce, straight
No
away.
Neil. Yeah.
Neil
No,
and Bruce.
no Bruce. No Neil.
Come on, guys.
It's like the opposite of what we're talking about, or like learning from failure. You can't learn anything from that because then you spawn at a different spot. You have no idea where there's people who know the map. They're sitting there waiting to shoot you.
And it was
once.
such a sad
It's
case
like,
for them because their Uncharted trophies were always perfect. Hey, here's a whole
you play
bunch
a little
of
bit
stuff.
of multiplayer if you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here, congratulations, you played a multiplayer match. You played the other thing there, and then they gave DLC that then added in. All right, now get 1 million kills, 1 million wins, whatever. It didn't affect the platinum.
Yeah.
Don't you laugh at me, all right?
Tell
me about your infinite force that isn't infinite
I
again.
know, but at least like I'm not gonna hate on trophies because I know.
Sounds like you're about to. Because at least
I don't understand what you're doing.
What do you mean?
I do. You're playing these games that you literally.
Spreadsheets. It's
Yeah,
a
exactly.
spreadsheet.
No, but you don't care about the game. You're spending money and time to just get. Well, what it is it is a status and a collector's thing, right?
No, that's part of it sometimes, but honestly, there's other things. When there's trophies that have you do certain things, then it actually challenges you to try
Those
different
for
ways.
sure.
Which is cool. And if you have to like in Borderlands, you have to get a certain level with all your characters. So it really encourages you to try. And so that's when I like those kinds of lists.
Yes.
If it's a list of like some other bullshit thing like that, I don't just get a platinum all the time. I don't care.
So I don't get skewered, and I will already in the comments. But I'm not hating on those trophies. Challenging trophies. It's when like what are these other games
Saturday
you're
morning
mentioning?
cartoons or whatever.
Saturday
What was
morning
it?
cartoons. What was it called? Mr. Mayo.
My name is Mayo.
My name is Mayo. Yeah, Mr. Masagi. You're putting together some classics here, guys. You're merging together some classics. Super Weekend Mode was the most recent one. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Greg, did you get your trophy in Destiny? You have to beat a raid without dying.
Well, I got the one for platinum. I platinum Destiny too.
Somebody took you through. Did someone take you?
It wasn't a raid that I. Oh, you could do a raid or a strike on hard or something. And do
Really?
whatever.
There's
Yeah,
one
yeah.
though that's like more of just a challenge, but I do appreciate it. You don't, as long as you don't die, you get a trophy for it. That type of stuff is cool.
I was going for the the Dead Space 2 trophy.
Fuck that.
And where you get
Douchebags.
3 saves in the whole game, and there's a couple quick time events that
I was doing great on on that one where I hadn't saved from the beginning, and then it was when I got to the elevator, and a necromorph got me, and it was cheap, and I was like, all right, well, I am not replaying the last 6 or whatever, 3 hours, whatever. It was enough an investment where I was like, I tried, I'm done. That was my one shot.
No, thank you. Next.
Yes, but yeah. So it's not like some people are like, I platinum every game I play. I'm not saying that. I do that voice just because I'm being intense.
That's what you said.
But no, it's like if it's something that I love and I feel like it could be challenging but like manageable in a certain way.
I have 2 levels. I have 2 levels of platinum, Fran. I have the games that I love and I want to honor by getting the platinum, and then I have the games that are easy that I just want the platinum trophy for. All right.
Okay.
Just by turning on the console.
In the US store.
Just turn on the
Bless you.
console.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, that's the best. And is there any greater feeling when the game remember when I know you remember it well, Tim. When the DC Universe trophies from PS3 carried over to PS4 on a separate list, and all you did is turn on your PlayStation 4, turn on DC, and it was
you got a platinum.
Really?
You're like, yeah, baby, this is it. And then if you haven't seen this thing, this is a good one for you too. This is just to ease yourself in, right? In 40 short minutes, right now, PlayStation Plus, Conan Exiles is on there. It turns out that when you turn on the game, you can go into admin mode.
Oh no, Greg, no.
Start giving stuff, put yourself in God mode, spawn bosses, kill it, get the trophies. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait.
I'm not doing
This is
that.
what I'm talking about.
Anthony,
Hey,
where can people
to each
find
their
you?
own.
They can find me on Twitter at Albino Kid and on Instagram at Albino Kid 1026 and on PSN also at Albino Kid 1026 is my PSN.
You need some Bloodborne help.
Yes.
The man to go to.
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank
This has been
you.
a fun
Thank you.
little chat,
Thank
conversation, as they say.
It's not over yet, though.
Oh yeah, no, it's post show time.
Po-
I was gonna say pre, and I messed up. You know
We got
what I mean?
skills with a
It
Z.
happens.
We got skills with a Z here.
Thank you. Thank
Shout
you
out
for
to
that.
Juliet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Juliet.
Yeah,
Same place?
we were born in the same.
Well, I was born in Chicago,
Oh, you-
but grew
you
up in Joliet. Yes.
Which,
yes,
Greg,
yes.
you were right up the road.
Of course.
This is the Chicago show.
When it was
today.
Adriana
Yeah,
Curry,
I'm
right?
here.
She's from Joliet, too.
Yeah. Also,
Lionel Richie.
Janina Gavankar from Joliet. Do you know Janina Gavankar?
Gavankar.
And John Barrowman, do you remember him? You know him from Doctor Who and Torchwood?
No. Oh, now that you said that part, yeah, no, I do.
A lot of good Chicagoans. Jolietans.
Joliet.
Post
is that
show
what you
time,
call it?
baby. Kev,
Yep.
pull up that chittity chat.
Just
Shittity
got it
someone
coming.
from Joliet watching out there.
Chittity chat.
Chittity chat.
Chinnity
Have you ever
or
said that
chittity?
before?
Chittity is what I
Chittity.
was
The
saying.
first thing in chat is "How dare you, Fran?"
I
knew
look
it was
10
coming.
years. I look
Well,
10
Mark,
years
of
younger than
course.
I am.
Is the platinum?
Yeah,
One of the
what,
platinum.
Mark, what's the count at now?
Royalty.
136, 136 platinums?
God.
Oh, what's my favorite weapon in Bloodborne? It depends on the build. There's a lot like
Duh.
I mean, I really still like the threaded cane. I think it's great.
The
You guys don't
threaded
know the
cane?
game I'm talking
can't
about. You don't
relate.
know
Yeah.
I
it.
want to hear it, though. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
what
you
we
talk to them.
I did a blood tinge build in the Rider Spralaka or whatever. It goes from a rapier and then you know the trick weapons, right? That's one of the other cool things.
I
Like
do know these.
there's the different modes,
Quite
right?
familiar.
So it goes from just a normal rapier and then it's a rapier with a pistol on it. So you could have a gun and a gun
That's cool.
and do that. That's pretty
Gunblade.
cool. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, those are some of my favorite. But I'm experimenting with other things too. It's fun.
Have you ever played Neo?
Not yet, but it's in my queue. It's another one
I
that
heard
I
it's
feel
pretty
like
hard.
I feel like it's another one that you have to like dedicate the time to. So
Exactly. That was the same thing
like-
when I started it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. This isn't what I want to do the next 5 hours.
Everyone calls it the pimp cane or pimp
I
stick
barely
here.
dipped my toe in
Pimp
Dark
stick.
Souls 3, and when I had like an afternoon, I was like, this is going to be too much. I can't do it right now.
Yeah.
But-
Supposedly, I mean, it's pretty solid and more
Yeah.
balanced than 2 from what I've heard.
Yeah,
But
two
still
drove
pretty
me a little
rough, I
nut.
mean.
Like the 2 New Game Plus thing was crazy.
Really?
It was like the same boss now has like 2 phantoms in the arena
Oh, God.
with you.
No
It's
thanks.
like, what are you
You're like
talking
fighting
about?
3 bosses
Like,
effectively.
what are you
Like,
talking about?
jeez.
Sorry. Yes.
Mark Freeman says Super Weekend mode is so good.
Good job. Yeah, he knows. Because again, yeah, you can get it. You get it when you buy it once on PlayStation 4, platinum it there. That's cross-buy. That comes
Yeah.
to Vita. So you might be like, oh, Greg, you spent $4 on a platinum. It's like, no, I spent $2 on 2 platinum.
But like, what was the what PS All Star PlayStation All Stars?
$4 on
I
2
do have the.
platinums.
You had to still play it on both platforms.
Yeah, you had to play through it on both of them.
Yeah, and I did do that.
Hell yeah, you did. Hell yeah, you did. It broke me. And I put it down in Vita, and I never finished all the storyline. People, I should go back.
Ignacio says, Tim, did going for the spirits burn you on Smash? No, but there's just a lot of really repetitive stuff there. And it's just like playing through the single player stuff in Smash has never been the same as playing with friends. You know, it's
Are
just
you and your
like-
friends still playing it a lot?
Oh yeah, all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
We're not
such
friends.
such a damn good game. You just don't come to things. I invite you.
You didn't-
Like,
you don't
Greggy,
invite me to Colonel's
Greggy,
house.
please play games with me. And you say no.
Well, hey, Super Weekend mode ain't platinum in itself.
You're
all
right.
When
You're
are we
right.
going to Michael Bubla's house? You parents.
Yeah, exactly right. TJ Simdord says, Scoom Poof here. Thanks for the shout out.
How about yeah?
Awesome.
Thank you for making the level. That's super awesome.
TJ, that was great.
And then, okay, so there's something going on here. Mr. Gasman says, Tim, are you going to play Mortal Kombat 11? Yes. They just sent us like a scorpion
Cover
head
Collector's
and all stuff.
edition
It's-
with a K.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you just get the helmet.
But they're saying, did you see the launch trailer for Mortal Kombat 11? They used the Mortal Kombat song. People keep tweeting at this to me, and I haven't seen it yet. Kev, can you pull it up?
Oh, yeah.
I want to
Love
watch
see it.
this to close out the show.
That'd be awesome. Richard Shivdarson, by the way, agrees with me on that Division 2 loot. It's not just me. It stresses him out a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, dude. It is a lot of reading, man. It slows the game down. That's the real problem. It does regardless.
Lead Bull Production says, Anthony, any more performances in LA coming up?
No, we just did 2 concerts on Monday and Tuesday. I'm sorry that I don't know when the next one will be after this.
How'd it go?
Very well, thank you.
Awesome.
Sold out. We're sold out here in San Francisco.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What are you
Awesome.
doing?
Where are we doing here?
Yeah.
The Fine Signs at the Nico Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Whoa, what's
Do you
happening?
live in LA?
All right.
What's going on?
About to watch a little Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
11.
the official launch trailer.
You kids
I
ready?
live in
He
New York.
grabbed it all.
I live in New York.
It is.
It is cool.
It is cool.
Andrea did a half-assed.
That thing's gonna like fall. Wait, what?
Go full screen, Kev. Yeah, so there you go.
got Scorpion.
This is
I love
the
it. They make it
ultimate
work.
collector's edition,
Yes.
something or other.
I don't like how much the head bobs around.
Don't be it yet.
To celebrate the
yeah,
launch of
I know.
Mortal Kombat 11 on April 23rd, we wanted you.
I'm Scorpion. I'm going to kick your ass.
Perfect.
All right, I want to watch this trailer.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. Live reacts with Scorpion.
We might need to cut this out. Oh man.
Was that
Is
Gambit
this still
from
Nether?
Drifter?
Is this still NetherRealm? They're the ones
Yeah.
doing it.
Dude. Yeah, they're fucking doing it.
Wait, yeah, we can't hear.
Is it possible that the past and future
Do we
are
gotta start
colliding?
slowing sound?
Only
France, stop it.
Kronoka has such power.
I intend to restart history.
Okay, we caught the cue. Oh yeah.
Let the new era begin.
The mouths are a little over animated. Sorry.
They will fight us, and they will live.
This remix is awesome.
Well, we're in the shit now.
The gore's still coming. Oh, sweet.
We must find Kronika's keep and strike it as hard and as fast as we can muster.
We defend Kronika as she rewrites history.
Yippee-ki-yay, right?
Recognize me, little brother.
Oh, it's like coming out like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday or something.
That's how you sell me on a fighting game I don't care about.
That was a great trailer.
Hell yeah, man. That story mode looks like it's going to be stupid as fuck, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
So much fun.
I hadn't kept up on. I mean, I'm not the biggest Mortal Kombat guy, obviously, or fighting game guy. So I hadn't kept up much on like the trailers and all that jazz. And watching it yesterday at the IGN Esports thing, like when people were playing it and how fucking brutal it is. I mean, it looks beautiful, obviously,
Yeah.
as it always does. But then the brutality of it is just on such another level, as it always is with
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, increasing. But like,
Yeah, it was funny to see they held back on the launch trailer because it was like a little gory, but they didn't do anything too crazy.
Dude,
it's,
like-
what, 100 times more
Do they
crazy
still
than
rip
we've
out
seen it.
people's spines?
That's the least
dude,
of
that's
it.
the least of the problem. Like, yeah,
The problem.
Cassie Cage like tearing a hole through the people in front of her, and then coming down and doing like the heart emoji through the hole that ended on, and then like Kano.
It's hilarious,
dude. I don't think I was embargoed on anything, and I'm sure there's all out
They've
there
shown a
too,
lot.
probably, right? But like, finishes his beer, throws it in the other person's face, runs over, slits their throat, their blood sprays into his face. He grabs them and then dances with their dead body around. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's ones in the last game where it's like they get kicked in the balls, and then like you see their like X-rays in, and then you
they
see
saw the
their
X-rays in there
testicles
too. Yeah.
explode.
So a lot of jaws get broken yesterday.
Wow.
It is so brutal. I love it. But yeah, I've been hearing so much about the last story mode. Was it in the last
Injustice
one?
2,
Injustice
man.
Oh, it was Injustice. But everyone loved that so much. But you can tell from the cutscenes they did so
Dude,
much work.
It's you should give it a shot to play through the story
I'm
mode,
going
even
to.
if you're not a big fighting game guy. Like
I am a
NetherRealm
fighting game guy,
are
it's just-
so good.
Time, man.
Very
Totally
exciting
find
stuff.
What is this time?
Yes.
Do you travel with your, or do you I mean, you travel obviously.
Do
to
I
the
travel
show.
with my PS4?
Yeah.
Yeah, when mostly, not
Yeah.
all the
Really?
time.
Yeah.
If it's a really quick trip, then no. But,
Sure.
yeah, when I have time.
Did you bring it on this one?
I did, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I've been trying to do our Resident Evil. Now I'm going to follow your advice and
That's what I see.
stay at 6% of the trophies earned.
Oh, that's always a heartbreaker, right? That's awful.
Whatever. I don't
Oh
care.
man,
It's fine.
Well, thank you for joining us. We're
Thank
gonna
you.
wrap this day up right now. Thank you guys all for joining us as well. We'll see you tomorrow. Twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. What day's tomorrow? Friday.
Tomorrow's
Yep.
Friday.
Whoa,
That's crazy.
And we made
Okay.
it.
Greg.
We made it, everybody.
Yeah, we got some
Daily.
Games Daily. We got some screencast. It's gonna be a fun time. All right, bye. Bye.